This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Staples. The rain's going to be coming in again today. Scattered showers and highs in the upper 40s. It's currently 41 in downtown Seattle. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Well, this is going to be a hassle. Nice. It is 5:47. My name is Danny Bonaducci, and this is KZOK. Good morning.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you there, Paul.
Thank you, sir. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you guys.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Wow,
Man,
everybody's
is she
excited.
chirpy or perky? No, I'm going little chirpy, perky, whatever she's got. Wow.
Perky for sure.
Yeah, for
Both
sure.
of them, so Derek must be on drugs.
Was there any question?
Sounds like every other day.
So I'm excited. I was going to start the show with that little, I'm guessing it's about 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and I say something, and then we start the show. I was going to start with, and you're the son of a whore. But that seemed like tough. Hey, happy Friday, you're the son of a whore. By the way, I'm talking to none of you people. That's the only line I know from Hamilton.
Oh.
That he has these incredibly tough beginnings.
There's got to be other lines.
Blah, blah, and being the son of a whore. Although I don't think they sing like that. They rap. But anyway, it seemed a little tough to start the show. Now that I've heard it in my headphones twice, I would have to think I was right to make that call.
Have you actually seen Hamilton?
No. No. I've heard, I think we have a record, maybe, or a CD or something like that. I've heard one or two, but, they're going fast, man.
Yeah. But you're going to see it.
Yeah, going to see it tonight.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm very excited about this. I usually I have a trepidation about plays, especially musicals, but I almost always have a good time, except for Pippin. Oh my God, the guys from Pippin should be arrested. I don't know how they're allowed to do that to your time and for money.
You've been to several shows, I think.
Oh,
that
like all
you
the
didn't care
time.
for.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. Oh, the David Byrne one you didn't care for.
Didn't care. And stand by it. Man, and I'm a big fan of his.
Is this Hamilton right now?
Yep.
Depends. Who's asking? Oh, well, sure. Sir, I'm not.
It's hard to sing along with this.
Yeah, that's why my mind goes, you're the son of a whore.
That's easier to
Doesn't-
sing along
Yeah,
with.
but it doesn't fit at all.
I was seeking an accelerated course.
It's like
All right.
speak singing.
So
I forgot I was supposed to go to that show tonight, too.
You guys, it's rapping. It's billed as rapping. It's not speak singing. It's not dance. It's rap. It's straight out rap, which I think is going to be bitching. There's no way in the world. I will not compete with this guy. Turn that down a little bit. Thank you. It's all Hamilton-y on me. Yeah, I'm excited. It's the hot ticket. I gave away very expensive tickets to this show, but I would have had to have seen it twice.
Mm-hmm.
My theory on this was, I don't know if they don't need me to help sell. The reason you invite me and disc jockeys and newspaper writers and stuff like that to a show is if you don't like it, shut up. You saw a play free of charge. If you do like it, please talk about my show. Hamilton does not need me to talk nice about his show. You can't get tickets. I got to get in a lottery to get.
I don't know why they invited us. Why are they letting us go?
I don't. Are you going to go?
I told you I was supposed to go tonight as well.
I know that, but you said supposed to, so I assumed you were
I just
not.
forgot, so I guess I should.
How do you
remember.
forget you have Hamilton tickets?
Come on.
I thought it
Is
was.
your life just that great? Hamilton. Oh, I completely forgot.
Gosh. Oh, did I have reservations at the best restaurant in town tonight?
That was a terrible rendition of what I
totally
failed to
forgot.
do. I was going, I won the lottery. Was I going to pick up that money today?
Right.
Yeah,
But,
I guess so. I'm
so I
sorry.
will see you there.
But yeah, I guess I'm going to Canlis first. I forgot about that too.
That's right.
Okay, that part's a joy. I don't know. The sense of humor over here, I just can't keep up. They fly over my head like thunderbolts.
Yes, you will see me at Hamilton
Good,
tonight.
because you're lucky people that we get invited. But I was going to say those tickets are expensive, but I bought 2. I just assumed they wouldn't invite me. They don't need me. So I bought 2 tickets to a matinee, which, to be honest, I prefer because the hours we keep, and they don't give away tickets to the matinee. There's no press matinee. So I bought them, and then when they called and invited me, I said, of course I'll go, because I also want to stay in good feelings with them. Yeah, you give me tickets. I'm going to show up, and I like it, and everything's going to be great. Continue to invite me. I don't want to say, oh, no, I'm busy. I got other stuff to do. So when I said, yeah, I'd go to this, then I gave away my tickets to Amy and her friend Jackie, who is a lunatic, which is kind of cool. It's nice to have a lunatic friend in the Bonaducci sphere these days. It was, she came over to the house about 11, and she was talking, and I looked at Amy. Now, Amy usually will have 1 drink before a show. We'll take an Uber over, and she'll maybe have another drink at intermission. But drinking's part of it. Like it would be for me if I were drinking. So at 11 in the morning, I jokingly say, well, aren't you guys going to start drinking vodka right now? And before Amy can say no, she goes, yeah. Okay, you're in. As a Bonaducci friend, you're totally in. And then Amy breaks her heart by going, no, we're not drinking this hour. And then the girl's shamed that she wants to do what they're referring to as day drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't do any day drinking. I don't do day drinking. It's like, come on. I used to do like day snorting, day smoking, day inserting, but let's not talk about that one. But I used to do it during the day. So yeah, that is my.
And she loved it, so you're looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, everybody. I haven't heard one bad word about Hamilton.
I haven't either, but I also don't know regular people who have gone. I know that the general consensus by
Is Amy not a regular person?
No, Amy's the only person, like the actual human
who
being
do you
I
know?
know who has gone to the show.
Oh.
I know that James Corden's parents went. I know a million
Did they like it?
people. They did.
I understand they're totally regular people. No, the salt of the earth, those guys. They were, I forget, they just recently retired from working for 30 years.
Have
You don't know
met-
personally people
Yeah,
who
have
have gone.
either of you personally met someone who's been to
Yeah,
Hamilton?
my wife.
Other than your wife. That's
Well,
what I
you
said.
got to ask your questions better. For God's sake.
Only person I know who's been to Hamilton is Amy.
Right. And on Monday, it will be us. I'm very, very excited about
Yeah.
this. I can't believe I'm going. So I started the show. I don't know if I have time for this because it's a mouthful. I started the show. This is going to be a hassle. I get a call yesterday, and that's right off the bat. How does this person know my phone number? I don't even know my phone number. I get a call yesterday, and it's the agent who got my book published 20 years ago or whatever it was. She does not work for Hyperion, the publisher, anymore. I don't know. I didn't really want to talk to her. And she said, hey, I just saw a rerun of the Dr. Phil show. Now, in today's environment, I don't know if she actually saw it on her TV. It was downloaded on something because there's no reason to write. Although I get residual checks for it. It's called Out of Control Husbands.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And I said, yeah, thanks, because I got Dr. Phil to laugh, and I think it was his job to hate me because I was the out of control husband.
Yeah.
I was drunk, and life was a nightmare, and everybody hated me. So I said, well, cool, thanks. And she said, listen, at one point in the show, Dr. Phil says, I understand that you have been diagnosed as bipolar and take medication for it. Is that true? And I said, yeah, when I remember to go to the doctor. And she said, you said to Dr. Phil, you weren't sure you believed that you were bipolar. Just everybody said it to you all your life. You even take your medication because you think you should, but you don't even know exactly what bipolar disorder is. Has that changed? No. And I just went to my psychiatrist today, and I think this could all be a prank as far as I'm knowing. And she said, would you be willing to investigate what bipolar is, how it affects you, and what once you realize you are or not bipolar, how that affects your life and the life of people around you? And I said, sounds like keeping a diary. No problem. Yeah, I'll do that. And she says, great, I'm going to call you next week. Writing a book's a huge hassle.
But is she writing the book or you're writing a book?
Did I not make that clear? I
Yes,
apologize.
she did not make that clear.
Okay, yeah. She asked me if I'd write another book. And,
Okay.
and document all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
For
diary.
a book, though, you made it seem like it's for some study she's doing.
Okay, so she asked me if I would write another book and document what it's like to be bipolar and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, of course I would. You know, I'm not famous enough for money to be real. Like, my book sold well and paid okay, but not the advance.
You don't get the upfront money.
The
You got to wait
advance-
and hope that it sells.
You know, some people, they get like $1 million.
Yeah.
I do not. I a nice new car, maybe even a decent normal car and a half. Well, I have a car and a half. I really don't. I have a car, but I have a nice car. It seems like a lot of work, but if there's money in being crazy, you better believe I'll find it.
A 29-year-old woman was taken to the hospital in critical condition yesterday after being shot at a 7-Eleven in East Bremerton. Officers responded at 1 a.m. to this store on Wheaton Way. A witness identified a suspected shooter as 27-year-old Kip Green, who fled on foot. Police were unable to locate him. This is a man who was also involved at a stabbing a few years ago at a 7-Eleven in Bremerton.
What is it about 7-Eleven that brings out the worst in this guy?
Yeah.
How long has that hot dog been on there? 3 days? One time I was going out to 7-Eleven to get something out of milk, something normal. And recently, because I was in this house, and I said, what do you want? And I knew Amy was hungry, and she said, surprise me. So I brought home the oldest, most horrible taquito things, like they were black and still rolling around. We ate them. We're the Bonaducci's. Don't set food in front of us and say no.
Yeah, I don't know how you could be upset after being at a 7-Eleven. It just makes you so happy.
It does, absolutely.
Well, he was upset about something, and they're not sure what the motive was, but people are asked to call police if you know his whereabouts. I don't know if y'all noticed, but it was a little cold this morning.
It was cold.
Yeah.
I forgot to pre-start my car.
Oh.
Man, the next time we do a segment like What Can't You Live Without? Car starters. That was a nightmare.
Yeah, I have to be honest, I had a very hard time getting out of bed this morning because it's coldy. And we are getting a nasty storm blowing in this weekend. And a lot of the higher elevations are going to get snow.
Yeah.
In the low areas in Seattle, for example, we also might get some snow. We're going to get heavy winds and rains tonight into tomorrow. And then super cold by Monday. Now there is already a weather advisory up in the Cascades above 2,000 feet. They're talking over a foot of snow.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. I guess that's good for skiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to look on the bright side.
You're one of them.
I am one of them.
Yeah, you will benefit from this. You know what I think? Because I've broken just too many bones to ski, and I'm thinking, wow, every now and again I'll hear you advertising the ski resorts here. I'm thinking that's not good that I keep talking about how many bones I'm gonna go tobogganing and inner tubing.
Oh,
this
fun.
year. I
Oh,
think.
it is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, people rave about those inner tubings.
Yeah.
Inner tubings?
I've done that since I broke bones and not broken anything. It's not like every time I see snow, I hurt myself.
No, it's just every time you ski.
Although you'll be happy to know this, Paul.
Yeah.
I fell down the stairs, the same one that Amy fell down in this
Oh,
on
is that
video.
right? Is it on video?
Yeah.
Oh, you
No,
gotta
it
send it
is
to
on
me.
video. There's proof it's there, but we can't get to it for some reason.
Oh, strange.
But I'm a genius. That's why I want to show it to you. My feet go out from under me, and on my way down, I look at Amy and go, my turn. Before I even hit.
Oh, wow.
Very excited about that.
Was that last night?
No, it was actually a couple weeks ago, or a week ago. Well, no, the last time we had ice on stairs, whatever that temperature was, it was that day.
All right, you need to get the footage so Paul can have something to
I
laugh
know.
at.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, we are still waiting for more information about the shooter in South Florida. They have still not found a motive. There are some reports that say he claims to have been hearing voices.
Right.
There's no definitive proof if that's factual.
Well, no, I approve. I'm hearing something you're not hearing.
Right. He needs to be analyzed by psychiatrists to find out, is this a defense or is he
Right.
crazy pants?
I believe, although I think a lot of psychiatry is voodoo, and I don't hate me, because they're actual medical doctors. You have to become an MD before you can make the jump to be a psychiatrist. So I have nothing but respect for them. But a lot of it's voodoo. They're not sure, especially the ones that do dream interpretation. Are you kidding me and stuff like that? But I think they're hard to fool.
I think so too.
It's funny because I'm actually technically crazy, but I tried to. It would behoove me to be a different kind of crazy. So I tried to convince the psychiatrist for the court that I was that kind of crazy, and he said, "You know, you don't have to pretend with me." It's so embarrassing, and I was found guilty.
Well, the day after that gunman fatally shot 17 people in South Florida, many of American teenagers went to school, but on campuses across the country, they said there is a sense of uneasiness. They are on high alert because, sadly, there are a lot of copycat threats being posted to social media. They are on high alert around the country. People are trying to be vigilant, looking for signs. In Spartanburg, South Carolina, a 9th grade student was arrested after allegedly posting a photo of himself on Snapchat wearing a partial mask and holding what appeared to be an assault rifle. The caption was, "Round 2 of Florida tomorrow."
Jeez.
Now, they figured out who the kid was. They went to his house. They determined that he intended it as a joke and did not have any plans on doing anything. And they said, well, you've broken the law, and that's not funny.
But
Now,
what they do though?
they're not doing anything.
Mistake. You've broken the law. Nothing. No. You broke the law. 3 days in jail.
Yeah, there has to be
3
some
days with
sort
no
of punishment.
Atari or whatever these guys use today.
Believe it or not, there are several of these instances.
I saw this guy Cruz's name, and here's the thing: these guys that want to be famous, he has a memorable name. I barely remember your guys' names, and I know that guy's name is Cruz. He's 19, and he's all over the news. If that's what he wanted, he's getting it. I just don't know. How do you not know 20 years from now in a cell you're going to go, I didn't really want to be famous for a day?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you hope to find out a motivation, like what's wrong here, but at the same time, what is that going to do? Except
I've heard there's a couple of ways. There's crazy, full on, I did hear voices, and the other one is they wanted to be famous. A bunch of them have done it and said, I wanted to be famous.
a lot of them wanted or full of hatred.
Yeah.
That somebody had done him wrong. So Valentine's Day, did somebody do him wrong?
Did he do it? Was it Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
It wasn't yet. Oh my goodness gracious! I thought it was the day before Valentine's Day.
This area, by the way, had just been named one of the safest in our country.
Oh, that's gonna put a ding in that.
My brother lives in the town right next door and just a few miles away from this. And he told me that it's a very popular school district, that people move to Parkland for that school system. And I have a feeling that's going to change, sadly, as well.
This affects a lot of things. I didn't even think of that because I didn't correlate to Valentine's Day. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But also that will affect property values. Yeah,
Yeah.
they shoot here. We don't have an untarnished record here.
It's a very affluent area right next to Boca Raton.
Yeah, I saw some cool houses.
Yeah. And two St. Louis high school students were badly injured after a classmate threw an unknown chemical substance on them. Police were called to the high school 10 in the morning. Authorities say a 16-year-old male student threw something onto a 14-year-old boy and a 16-year-old girl in the library. They have chemical burns on their faces.
Oh, geez.
The attacker is in custody, and they're trying to figure out what the chemical was used in this attack.
As far as you know, do they know this guy?
They are all at the same high school.
Right, but are they
haven't
like
said if
friends
they're
that went bad or just some random attack?
Don't know.
All right.
And parents may soon have to make a special request if they want cheese on their kids' cheeseburger at McDonald's. The corporation announced yesterday that by June, cheeseburgers will no longer be an entree choice for Happy Meals. Instead, the choice will be hamburger, a 4-piece or 6-piece McNugget, and you will only get cheese upon request.
Well, you were only getting cheese upon request before. You said, I want the cheeseburger.
Right, but that's not an option.
Now you have to say, I want the hamburger and please add cheese to it.
No, I think it's weird. I think you could I'd like the Happy Meal with the cheeseburger. That's not a thing anymore.
Yes,
Right.
correct.
I guess they're taking away the way that they're marketing it.
Right. So they can say, and you're going to less French fries, and the end play is there will be no Happy Meal that's over 600 calories when they're done.
They haven't had French fries in there in a while. They have already said that they're trying to make this all about being healthier. They're also going to take the milk away. You can have some water.
I'm not sure this is accurate information.
No, they do have French fries
They
in there
do
now.
have French fries.
Milk will
They-
still be an option. They're going to make the chocolate milk have less sugar. And,
Almost everything about this seems to be suspect. They're totally French fries. I just watched the
Yeah,
story.
their option is you can have an apple. It's not mandatory that it comes with French fries. They're trying to give you the option of water or chocolate milk.
They
want
serve water?
a bottle of water. They're trying to give you
It's
the
gonna make
option
the
when
price
you
go up, isn't it?
when you order to have of other options. They said you can have a bottle
Like
of water
cheese.
as your beverage of choice. They are going to either replace the chocolate milk with regular, or they're going to try to reduce it, and everything is the 600 calories or less.
Yeah, I had no
You
idea
don't
that
need
one
fries,
little.
have an apple.
I had no idea
And
that
what
one
about
little piece
normal
of
milk?
cheese makes it different.
What about normal milk?
Yes, normal milk is an option.
Oh, it still is. Okay.
Well, just like at Starbucks, they don't use full fat milk anymore. It's 2%. A lot of places are trying to make things healthier. You can get whole if you ask for it, but the standard order at Starbucks now is made with 2%.
I would like to get whole if that's possible.
A German lawyer is pretty angry after
Yeah, he's German.
receiving more than 100 unwanted pizzas delivered to his office. Police are now investigating the mystery.
I've never heard of an unwanted pizza. Like, maybe I didn't order it, but if it comes to me, I want
The
it.
Thai chicken pizza's pushing my limits,
Yeah.
although it's delicious.
Right.
It's just not pizza. You know who makes a good stupid pizza? Is California Pizza Kitchen.
Yeah.
They make a bunch of stupid pizzas, and they're mostly still good.
Guido Grohl is now receiving...
Dave's brother.
Yeah.
His name's Guido,
Guido.
and he's upset that people are giving him pizzas.
Well, it's now gone to currywurst and sushi. The problem is they're not paying for it. The delivery person shows up, and this is over 100 pizzas in 2 weeks.
Right.
He said he wakes up in the morning, and there's a message on his phone or somebody knocking at the door saying, your delivery's here. And they are calling this harassment. They don't know who's sending it. They're trying to track it down. One morning, there were 15 orders placed in 27 minutes, and they're trying to figure out who and why.
I know who.
Who?
I don't know who's responsible for making the call because that could be a real prank, but it's whoever the pizza company. Would you take an order for hundreds of dollars of pizza the second time
It's all
without
different-
validation?
Right.
All different restaurants. So imagine if I wanted to do this to you.
I've ordered pizza. They want something that says we know it's you.
Yeah. It's different in Germany. I think there's some sort of trust system, but like I could call Zeke's, and then I would call Romeo's, and then I would call Mario's, and I
I guess you got to do it from a public payphone because otherwise they're
Burner.
going to have your number.
I don't mean to be rude in any way, but they've got trust things in Germany. I don't trust all Germans immediately. Like, oh, let's trust them.
No free pizzas, but it does include hotel and airfare. So check that out at KZOK.com.
And if you call in, I can tell you like 9 really good places to get pizza in LA.
Yeah.
The head of a megachurch in the Philippines was detained at Honolulu's airport after federal agents found $350,000 on the private plane. Apollo Quiboloy is among 6 people who are on the Cessna citation. They're about to leave for the Philippines, but Customs and Border Enforcement agents boarded, said, we're going to take a look around. Hey, what's all this cash doing here in a suitcase? Quiboloy is the pastor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, or KJC.
Oh, I wonder if he works with Manny Pacquiao. I think I know that Christ. I do. I know that Christ.
Well, he does work with President Duterte.
Yeah, the murderer.
And Quiboloy was in Hawaii for a concert. And when you go into...
So he's not from the Philippines?
I'm not sure his origin. They claim that this is from the Waipehu Church, so I'm thinking he's Hawaiian.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure. Apollo Quiboloy. He has ties to the Philippine president. They have a friendship that goes years back, and Duterte often lets him use his private planes.
Wow. So he's laundering money. He's making a little dough at that church.
Certainly what it sounds like. But you need to claim those things. They're in trouble.
Who's going to claim $350,000 of ripped off money from the church? What is it? God wouldn't have made him sheep if he didn't want him sheared. That's what people in that position say.
Once again, Iowa is home to the best grocery bagger in the nation. The victory comes after competing in the National Grocery Association's Best Bagger competition in Las Vegas. Trevor DeForest, age 35, of Macoiquita, won the national title. He raced against the other state champions from across the country to bag identical grocery orders. And they had things like eggs and bread and some canned goods to make sure that they know exactly what they're doing. This is the 7th time someone from Iowa has won the competition.
How boring is Iowa that their pastime is bagging groceries?
He said he started at 14. His dad was a manager.
I've always wanted to be a grocery bagger.
The thing is, I hope that this doesn't make you stay a bagger for the rest of because you're so good at it.
It's the best.
I hope you jump on to be not that good at being a lawyer.
He has 21 years of bagging experience.
I don't think that should be celebrated.
No.
He's 35.
That's just sad.
You got a check for 10 grand.
And ladies, he's single.
Very funny. I think it's Domino's, the box maker.
Yeah.
The box folder. I like that guy.
But again,
He's got to ride on a special bus.
It shouldn't be your career.
No.
A man was arrested after a drug bust, and he's been sentenced to prison in Gogebic County Circuit Court. But
Where are all these places? I've never heard about any of these things. Fapalanupa, Iowa.
The
They
last
don't really have
one,
that.
Macoiquita, Iowa.
Yeah.
This is a drug bust in Iowa, and it's his shirt that has everybody talking. Oftentimes when somebody gets busted, their mugshot goes viral. This guy is 47 years old. Jeffrey Elton Schmiege was sentenced When he got busted, he was wearing a D.A.R.E shirt.
Nice.
Drug Abuse Resistance Education.
That must be embarrassing.
It did not happen to you once, Danny?
Sure did. The 85 bust in Florida.
Whoops. I knew this sounded familiar.
I feel some shame about it, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Really.
Was
No.
yours D.A.R.E as well?
Yeah. It was MTV Says No to Drugs and D.A.R.E all over it.
Yeah, his shirt was emblazoned with the message D.A.R.E, and he was busted for manufacturing meth.
Wow.
Yours was alcohol or drugs.
Drugs.
Oops. Love makes people do all kinds of crazy things.
Like 3 things, and then that's it. That I'm willing to do for love.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that.
People can often do irresponsible things.
Mm-hmm.
People can do criminal things.
Yeah.
One man took it to the next level. Christian Desgru. He impersonated a 3-star U.S. Army general, rented a helicopter, and took to the skies, all to impress a lady.
Was there a pilot, or does he pilot?
Well, here's how it happened. The date kicked off when he hired the chopper to pick him up from his house
He's a pilot.
and fly him to the headquarters of the SAS Institute, a software company where his date worked. The pilot landed in the company's soccer field. He was wearing full military battle dress unis, head to toe, and he saluted the security officers. They saluted him back. They get on the helicopter. She has no idea he's not a 3-star general. And then the plan sort of fell apart when somebody looked at him and said, something doesn't seem right about this guy. You know, oftentimes it's how you hold yourself, or if you do your, what do you call this? Salute, like a little bit
Well,
wrong.
you could Google that one. I think I could probably get away with a good salute.
Yeah.
When they went on the date, everything was great. But then when they landed back to drop her off, things fell apart. They called the authorities, and now he is facing some pretty stiff
Yeah,
charges.
you can't impersonate a general.
I mean, you get busted for impersonating most anybody, but a general seems like that'd be far worse.
That seems like it'd be a big hassle. But so they have a heliport at her work and his house.
Basically, you
At
need
her
a lot
work,
of
it was a soccer field,
you need
right?
a lot of land. In her case, it was the soccer field that they landed in.
And in a soccer field. That would draw some attention for
Yeah.
me. I had a heliport in my house in Barrington Hills, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
It just came with it. They were going to build a fountain, and they ran out of
Fancy.
dough. Well, I got it for cheap, man. Got it for half of my Queen Anne house, which is 2,000 feet, no property. Yeah, they were building a fountain, and they ran out of dough, so just paved it over, and they realized that makes a perfect heliport, so they painted that thing in.
Nice.
And then did they have the money to have a helicopter
Nope,
land there? Or just
nobody
looked
ever
fancy?
had the money to have a helicopter land there.
I keep hearing ads or reading it in magazine publications that say taking a private jet's not as expensive as you think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Well, maybe not as expensive as we think, because I think, well, that's $1 million, and it's not. But to get from, say, here to San Francisco, I'll bet minimum 35 grand, if not more.
I would think probably even more. But
Yeah, maybe 50 grand. I'm thinking about, a 4-seater Lear jet from here to Frisco. It's under an hour, and it's going to be 50 grand. That's pretty
Yeah.
good dough.
But this guy in the helicopter, it was $1,500 for a 3-hour tour.
That's not bad.
That's a little less than I was expecting. But,
Me too.
Yeah, but he gets a military discount. He's a 3-star general. I mean, come on.
But that's not terrible.
No.
Split it with a pal. I don't know
For
how
a
many
private
people that
helicopter
those
tour?
things- Yeah.
Looks like you can get it from anywhere between 9,000 to 21,000, depending on how many seats you want.
Wow.
yeah, I'll just fly commercial.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to jump from premium economy to private jets.
Hey, today at 7:50, if you can tell us where Sarah's Beaver's been, you can win a pair of tickets to the pre-screening of the movie Annihilation. Check out KZOK.com or Facebook.com/Sarah's Beaver for those pictures and be ready to call at 7:50. This is a super scary sci-fi movie with Natalie Portman.
Yeah,
Looks
yeah.
great.
We're talking about it. Looks great.
When we come back from our short break, one of Danny's favorite friends is headed for a divorce.
Tebow!
Tebow! Wait, no, that's not right.
Is that not right?
A legendary,
Meatloaf.
a legendary 90s band is getting the band back together.
Meatloaf. Still meatloaf.
Seattle is in their plans.
Now I want some meatloaf.
Yeah.
And Bad Mariners news next in Sports and Meatloaf.
In Auburn on Highway 164, the road is closed in both directions between 6th Street and Riverwalk Drive due to a structure fire. No ETA for when that's going to reopen. And on I-5 southbound, as you make your way from Everett all the way down through to Northgate, seeing some really heavy stop-and-go traffic, about a 45-minute delay. This traffic report was brought to you by Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ins 2/17/18 excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Aer Lingus. The rain and colder weather is starting to come in again today. Scattered showers and highs in the upper 40s. It's currently 41 in downtown Seattle. Past travel is going to be difficult with the snow, so a winter weather advisory is in effect until 7 p.m. and a storm watch will continue into Saturday. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart Flies Aer Lingus. That's www.airlingus.com. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting first with music news, there was a countdown on their website. There were a lot of rumors, and once the countdown got to 0, a concert announcement was made. The Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, wow.
A reunion tour. Almost the whole band is back together. It's Billy Corgan, James Iha, Jimmy Chamberlain, who will not be there, Darcy.
Oh, you need the girl.
Yep. A lot of
You
bad
need,
blood
it's not
between her
Smashing
and-
Pumpkins, but I'd go, no, he could have hired anybody else. And I'd have gone, okay, as long as Billy Corgan's in the front of it, that's Smashing Pumpkins. But you need that girl. Would she play bass?
Yep. that's
Yeah, I liked her. I thought she was very cool.
Yeah. They did announce a Seattle date, Key Arena, August 24th, Smashing Pumpkins.
Wow, that's all right. Yeah. Key Arena's a good place for that show. I might go say, I heard the owner of Spin Magazine, so a guy that knows all about music being interviewed, and they're talking about different bands. And this is quite a while ago. And they said, what about Billy Corgan? And that guy said, that is the Mozart of the 20th century.
Wow.
And ever since he said that, I went, all right, I'll pay attention to that guy, because I found him kind of annoying. But, I'm assuming Mozart
The
was annoying.
Smashing Pumpkins were astonishingly good. His post-product, like Zwan, and had tried to do some solo stuff, he just not good.
That's what happens to us geniuses. We're good at one thing, and then we go right off the track.
They say that he wrote a lot of other people's music. Courtney Love's songs, a lot of those were from Billy Corgan. But he does seem like a bit of a nutbag.
Yeah, I think so. But, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Not a bit. I mean, I think you should be crazy in certain ways. If you're going to be on my radio or my TV, I don't want you normal. Who needs that?
So you're a fan of crazy, not just the music. Yeah.
I like the cast of Friends a little bit. That's fine. But when you get, I don't know, this guy kind of annoys me, but I don't know. Who's that guy? The guy, Sean Penn. I think he's a raving lunatic.
Yeah.
But neat.
And you like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, again, it is Smashing Pumpkins, August 24th at Key Arena. Now, it is a free concert Friday.
Yeah, I know what that means.
Well, you'll be listening for the guy from Woodstock to say what?
The Woodstock?
The Woodstock
That
guy.
sounds so uncomfortable, Woodstock. I'm going to get blisters for sure. The guy from Woodstock says it's a free concert from now on.
Right, when
Listen
you hear
for that.
That wasn't him. That sounded just
No,
like it, but that was not him.
I didn't even try to sound like him. I'm just that good at my impressions these days.
Yeah.
So when the Woodstock guy says
Yeah.
that, you call and you could be headed to Pearl Jam, August, Safeco Field.
Would you like to win? Would I? Okay, when the guy with the would I calls. I want you to-
Pearl Jam tickets all day from KZOK. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the big story in the entertainment world. Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux have separated.
I don't know why I care, but I do.
Me too.
Because it was too
bummer.
soon. They really looked good together.
Yep. She met him years ago, and they married in 2015. And the reports are now saying they've actually been separated for a while.
Wow. I'm
And he's
disappointed. She is a public figure in which I am disappointed.
She's a public figure, and therefore you're
No,
disappointed?
in which she's a public figure and I'm disappointed.
It just seems like she marries these amazingly handsome, talented dudes. Why aren't things...
Why didn't she grab me up?
Why didn't she?
Yeah, talented, handsome dudes.
Yeah.
I'm your
7 years
guy.
ago, you were already taken.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah. Sorry. They don't have any kids, so it'll make the separation a lot easier. But they said separation for right now. We are the best of friends. Decided to part ways. We're
Are they
cherishing our
consciously
friendship.
uncoupling?
Yeah.
And on the news, they said they've shared this lovely Hollywood home, $21 million Hollywood Hills home. I don't know what that guy does, but I don't think he affords a $21 million Hollywood Hills home.
Isn't he the Prime Minister of Canada?
That's Justin Trudeau.
Oh, not the same guy.
Justin-
Didn't he sing that song, Bye, Bye, Bye? I'm in.
That's Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Justin
None
Theroux.
of those people, Paul.
He has, I cannot remember the movie. Derek could find it if we need it, but he wrote a very big movie and is an actor. And he was in that series with Liv Tyler where the a third of the population just disappears.
All right, nobody on one behind.
What the heck is the name of that?
So whatever it is, you're
Departed?
not describing a big star because you describe a big
he's
star
a big
like
star if you've seen the pictures.
You describe a big star like this, Tom Selleck. Oh yeah, not the guy that was in the thing that had the girl that had the thing.
Both
The
of us watched
Leftovers.
The Leftovers. We
Leftovers.
both watched that. A great show. And he's a very good actor. Derek, did
What
you find
big
that
movie did he write?
I'm seeing on his IMDb the writer credits. He did Zoolander 2, Rock of Ages, documental.
Zoolander 2, you can stop there.
Right,
I mean,
right,
the man
if you
wrote
need,
Zoolander 2.
You
he
can
did
stop
this-
there, but don't.
He did the screenplay for Iron Man 2 and also
he's-
Tropic Thunder.
He still, I don't
He's-
think, has a $21 million house, but he has a $10 million house.
He's a bigwig. And Jeffrey Tambor, the actor, is
Yeah.
officially off his award-winning show Transparent. Amazon Studios announced the firing after they investigated the sexual harassment allegations against him. They did not release the results of their internal investigation, but said that they found enough.
I love that guy. I think he's great.
Surprise.
Do you know what he will go down in history for? He invented this. Hey now, he's that guy.
Oh.
Stern says it all the time. It comes from a very good show with that Gary Shandling show. I believe
yeah.
it was.
Very talented actor.
Yeah.
But he had several people on that show come forward and say there was inappropriate behavior. He said he was going to quit, but then the people at Amazon who are in charge of the show Transparent fired him yesterday. The show will go
Well,
on.
then he didn't have to quit now. Save a bit time saver, this whole thing.
You know, have you ever been in that situation, though, where you knew you were going to get fired and you thought you'd try to beat them to the punch by quitting first?
Nope, I'm always fired the second I wake up. It's like, nope, by this, you're out.
The winner of the reality show Survivor got into an altercation. Now, this isn't a spoiler alert because she won several years ago.
Oh, okay.
Jenna Maraska. She was in the Survivor Amazon back
Yeah.
in 2003. She won the $1 million. She then, what they do on Survivor is they'll bring back past winners and there'll be a favorites, villains episode.
Survivor in Paradise.
Right. No, that's a different show.
Right.
So this woman, Jenna Marasco, won the TV show Survivor. And then she bit a police officer after being found unconscious in the driver's seat of her running car.
So apparently she woke up.
She was given Narcan, the opioid overdose drug. And then when she woke up after getting the Narcan, she freaked out, where am I, and bit the cops.
If that's her defense, I think she'll make it.
She had no idea where
I have
she
no
was,
idea.
no
There's
idea
somebody
what was
touching
going on.
me.
Yeah.
I think you might get away with that. I don't know what the parameters of that stuff are, but in just regular life, you could probably pull all that off as a defense.
Well, so she'll get potentially the assault on a police officer taken off, but she
Still have heroin passed out.
yeah.
yeah,
Although I'm not sure it's a crime. What crime did she commit?
operating the vehicle. It was running,
Okay.
passed out,
Yeah, that's
running
one.
vehicle. And I was thinking it's got to be heroin, right? Is there anything else you inject?
I don't know. Where did you say she injected stuff?
They found syringes. Is there a difference? I don't know.
Yes.
And was charged with possession of drug paraphernalia.
No,
So
yeah.
I don't know what else you would inject, but it certainly sounds to me.
Oh, you'll be shocked. I'm going to go with heroin, but almost anything. You can shoot up almost anything. You can cook it down.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Vicodin and stuff like that. Shoot them. My friend Bo, who's dead now, but I've shot up whiskey at a party
What?
just to show he could do it.
Wow.
Although Derek did tell us a disturbing that he puts alcohol somewhere else.
Yo, there's no needles involved in that. Come on now.
When he told us we don't need to revisit that.
Yeah, here's the thing: when you tell Sarah anything, 3 years later, that's going to come up.
This was last week. He said
Same
he puts
thing.
a beer funnel, but not in his mouth.
Yeah, isn't that how ODB died?
Yeah.
Plus, I have no shame, so it's all good.
Oh, okay, fine.
Let's take a look at sports.
Next time you do it, I want to hold the bottle. It just seems funny.
Ew.
Sports.
Sports.
Sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Well, I did tell you there was some bad news for the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
Seattle Mariners first baseman Ryan Healy had surgery yesterday.
How long is it going to take him to Healy?
Nice, man. Nice, you absolutely.
It was not.
If I'd have done that, I'd have wanted some praise.
I disagree. No, you would have wanted some
I
praise.
would have wanted
but
some praise,
None
man.
is deserved whatsoever.
Surgery to remove a bone spur in his right hand. He will be sidelined for about 6 weeks. This is the guy we just picked up. It's supposed to be our first baseman. This was a procedure called a metacarpal boss excision.
Right here. I've broken
you've
it
had
so
that
many
done?
times. Yeah,
Wow.
that's my third. This is the big one. Is always your third metacarpal.
So you had metacarpal boss excisions?
Oh, I'm boss. Everything I do is boss. But yeah, I did. I have plates and all that stuff.
Yeah. Bone spur. To be honest, I didn't know you got those on your hand. I thought
Me
they were
either.
only on your foot. I thought I had one. I went to a podiatrist, and it turned out I had a ganglion cyst.
Oh, gross.
It's so gross, and I get it. I still have it, and then you can smush it, and it goes away, and then it just comes back again.
I will so lance that for you if you want.
It's inside, and it's hard like
I'll go get it.
cartilage. It's so gross, and you smush it.
I'll dig that bitch right out of there, whether you want me to or not.
Coming up at 8:20. Make sure you log on to KZOK.com. Watch Danny TV.
So first, he's going to have the funnel for
Yeah,
Derek.
first
Yeah,
I
yeah.
put the funnel in Daryl. Daryl?
Either way. Or his other brother, Daryl.
All right. So next Friday is when the first preseason game is. The
Yeah.
Mariners will be playing the Padres. Of course, they are in Arizona. And, it's only 6 weeks. So Ryan Healy will be back. It's
Hey,
just
Paul,
not good news.
Yeah.
where can't you buy Derek's funnel?
I'm going to guess the duty-free shop.
My friend.
I'm so sorry I brought that up.
You should be. Shame on you.
No, it wasn't me. It was Daryl. It's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of baseball,
Yeah.
well, Mariners opening day is March 29th, but we are giving you guys a chance to take a peek at the new turf at Safeco Field before anyone else.
Yeah, this is like 50% of what's cool about coming to this Whiskey Rocks thing is just being in an empty stadium.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The vibe is amazing.
Paul brought this up yesterday, and I didn't even register that we will be the first people to see the brand new turf.
It's very
Before
cool.
the Mariners.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
because
before the
they're
players
in spring
at the field,
training.
yeah.
Look at us go. All right, so this is Whiskey Rocks, and it's in the Terrace Club at Safeco Field. It happens on March 10th, and tickets are available now. If you're not familiar with it, it is your chance to sample 100 of the finest whiskeys and bourbons from around the world.
Yeah,
All of these
all of that.
different whiskeys are set up at different tables. You get to walk around and sample them and eat food and Spike and the Impalers.
Yep.
You don't eat them, you hear them.
If I'm going to funnel Daryl, I would eat one of the impalers. Hey, it's very difficult to talk. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and by the way, would I be way out of line? I'm sure I'm wrong, but would I be way out of line saying if you're imagining the Terrace Club and you've never been there for the Whiskey Rocks event, you're probably wrong. It's like, I don't know, a quarter of a mile long.
Yeah, it's a level
bigger.
of the ball.
It's a level
yeah.
of the ball. Yeah. Super cool.
Tickets and details, whiskeyrocksnw.com. Get your tickets. It did sell out last year. Bit of other baseball news on a more serious note. Chicago Cubs first baseman Anthony Rizzo, a superstar baseball player. He decided to leave spring training for his home in Parkland, Florida. He is an alumni of that high school that faced tragedy this week.
Yeah.
He went to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, graduated in 2007. Just a couple days ago, before this, he had made a big donation to his alma mater, and he decided to go take part in that candlelight vigil that took place yesterday.
Oh, it's lovely. I mean, it's a sad reason to do anything, but it's a lovely inspiration.
In the Olympics, a 17-year-old American figure skater has pulled off a move that nobody else has landed cleanly in the 94-year history of the Winter Olympics.
Okay, I'm all interested.
Vincent Zhu landed a quadruple Lutz.
Not a quadruple Lutz. The reason I know that might be difficult is because I kind of know what a double Lutz is.
Yeah.
And this has got to be twice as hard.
At least twice as hard, right?
At least.
The triple Lutz there. Everyone's like, oh my God, I landed a triple
Yes.
Lutz. What? Well, this requires 4 rotations after a jump from the outside of one foot with the skater landing on the outside of the other foot. It is what experts say is the most difficult to accomplish in any sport.
Right.
That the human body.
If you accomplish it in other sports, you're kind of an idiot. If a really good pitcher who just goes out there and does the quadruple lutz, so I'm going to question him.
Everything they're doing out there looks incredibly hard.
Like the ice you fall on is incredibly hard.
But this was just incredible. I mean, it was. I've never seen anything. How do you do that? It seems impossible.
It does.
He just never stops spinning. He's just going around and around and around.
How do you know where you are after that?
Exactly. Yeah.
It does seem to defy gravity. How did he make one more turn? And if you haven't seen it, we put it up at KZOK.com because it's pretty stunning.
I heard the other day they introduced some guy and they made a big fanfare and said, and he's the first openly gay figure skater. And I said, shut up! But Johnny Weir is your commentator.
Yeah.
But I guess
Who's doing a great job.
Who's doing
too.
a great job. He's very funny.
Him
and he's
and Tara
flamboyant.
Lipinski.
Yeah.
He doesn't play. I hope this isn't the wrong thing to say because I mean it in all good cheer, but he doesn't play down being gay. He's fabulous.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my goodness gracious, look what he's done. Like, neat, man. Makes it a lot more fun.
And I love that him and Tara Lipinski are like BFFs.
Yeah, it's been great.
And they play off each other really, really well. It does seem pretty surprising that statistic is right.
First openly gay figure skater. Really?
And
I feel gay watching it.
I'm really surprised how many married couples there are.
Well,
Men
the
and
fact that
women.
there's one is very surprising, and it's really. And brothers and sisters, there's some moves you shouldn't do with your sister.
I was uncomfortable watching that.
Yeah. The grab him by the hoozits is one. The move, the double hoozits is
Right.
one you shouldn't do.
All right, the Olympics. Derek, what is the medal count looking like this morning?
Yeah.
All right, at the top of the leaderboard, the Nordic Norwegians have 19 medals. In second place, the Germans with 15. Behind them, those natives from the Netherlands with 13. And in fourth place, we have the kooky Canadians with 13 medals. And currently in fifth place, the admirable Americans with 8 medals.
Fifth
All right.
place. What about golds? Who's leading golds? Us?
Unfortunately not. It would be... Excuse me, I can't even say it without getting choked up. The Germans have 9 gold medals.
Not cool, man.
No.
How many do you have? 9. You do not know. I say no.
In college hoops last night, the Huskies were defeated by the Utah Utes, 70-58.
What is a Ute?
Their next game tomorrow, 5 versus Colorado. And the Cougars, they got the win last night
Look at 'em
over
go.
the Colorado Buffaloes,
Go Cougs.
73-69. Their next is tomorrow against the Utes at 7. Also last night, the Gonzaga Bulldogs got a win over Loyola Marymount Lions. That's a mouthful. 76-46.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that.
You'd have no money.
A lot of people were wondering why this was even a matchup, Gonzaga playing Loyola Marymount, because it was so unevenly matched as the score shows. 76-46. Up next for them is Pepperdine tomorrow at 5. Seattle U, the Redhawks, beat Texas Rio Grande yesterday 85-68. Tomorrow at 1, they face off against New Mexico State.
Face off.
Yeah, that's one, totally.
We have a lot of show coming up, but that does wrap up your sports, brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUIOA.
This traffic report is brought to you by Snaples. On Snoqualmie Pass, the eastbound lanes are closed due to multiple spinouts, so avoid that area if you can. And in Sumner on State Route 167 northbound between Highway 410 and the Kent Des Moines roads, we're seeing some stop-and-go traffic, about a 40-minute delay right now. Staples has low prices on the organizational solutions your business needs to clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year, like banker's boxes, file folders, and storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It is 1 minute after 7 o'clock in the morning, and I beseech you that you stay with us for at least, well, the whole show would be nice. Stop everything you're doing, listen in the shower. But at 7:20, we're playing a game called Whose Hit Is It? Win, and it's an easy game to play. You'll win a pair of tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard in September, by the way, at the Gorge, 7:20.
In sports, we were just talking about an Olympic athlete who completed the quadruple Lutz.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I have.
I've not seen it.
It's pretty flipping amazing. It's
I'll
up
bet.
at KZOK.com. You can put it on your phone.
It's
You can watch it.
4 360-degree turns because they go on the inside of his foot, outside of his foot.
Yep.
Yeah, 4 full rotations.
In the ballpark of that, it's pretty damn amazing. I can't do it on dry land. I just couldn't get up and do 4 spins, I don't think.
I can do maybe 2 on figure skates on a good day, but 1 is super easy.
I'm sorry. Did we say anything?
No, you couldn't.
No, you couldn't. We totally don't believe you.
I mean, okay,
I grew up
thing you
figure
say.
skating. It's
Okay.
it's East Coast.
and
That's
land,
just what you do.
and
yeah.
land and not die.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah,
I can,
$1,000 today.
I'd need to practice.
All right,
I
there
haven't
we
been
go.
on ice skates in a year. No, that's not
I don't
true.
think I
Yeah.
could do 2 full rotations like without lifting my feet off the ground,
Right.
without falling
No,
over.
you couldn't. I think that's harder.
Yeah.
When you grow up on the East Coast, most people grow up skating. You play hockey, you figure skate. Like in Minnesota, you
Yeah,
grow up.
everything's
Yeah,
frozen.
yeah.
You play
I spent a lot of
hockey.
time in Minnesota.
But, you know,
I
a lot
can
of-
do the double Lutz. What's wrong with you?
I'm sure you could.
we always had outdoor ice skating rinks, and all the kids would just go ice skating. It's very normal, but this is a huge deal for this figure skater. When doing the triple was amazing, but to do 4 of these of a Lutz is astonishing. You've been
Why is
going,
it called a Lutz?
I have no idea. Why
Right.
is it called a kowtow?
It's got to be a guy.
Cow.
Or a
Yeah,
girl.
it has to be. Yeah, it has to be a person.
Yeah.
Right?
What bad name for a hero, Lutz.
You have been raving about Shaun White.
Yeah.
Just loving
You know,
Shaun White.
He was not a prank. I just can't think of a better word. This long-haired surfer kind of dude, and he won gold medal. Super neat. 30 years old, cuts all his hair. He's not gonna win, and he pulls up. That's my new current hero, and all because of what it took to do that, more than the actual trick. Just what it took of his life to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's a public figure that does seem to be impressing us, but the show collectively, the public figure that's really impressing us has been Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So much so that
He
you're
does
convinced he works at the sports station.
He
KJR,
does.
man. He's awesome.
right down
And
the
who
hall.
knew that much about American sports?
What's that guy's name that Danny thinks is Elon Musk?
Ian Furness.
I do not think I got his name wrong once, and you guys are just
Once.
vicious savages.
And Lutz was an Austrian figure skater. He is a man, and he skated in the early 1900s.
Those audacious Austrians. You can have that one, buddy.
Apparently, he's the first one who ever thought of jumping in the air and spinning in a circle.
Oh, I think of it all the time, and not even on skates. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, is there a current public figure that is really impressing you or letting you down? That's the question we're going to pose to you this morning at 800-252-1025. Is there someone other than Shaun White that sticks out for you?
No, I'm going to go the other way, and I only thought it since we've been talking. I had
that?
a little list in my head of people, but this one I don't think it'll be a surprise. Tom Brady is a huge disappointment.
Because he lost the Super Bowl?
No, not at all. People lose the Super Bowl half the time.
Because he's a big cheater pumpkin eater?
No, because I don't believe he cheated. I don't believe he let air out of balls. I don't think he had that kind of time. Whatever it is that I feel, he didn't congratulate the quarterback of the Eagles.
Yeah.
How do you
Surprising.
not do that? How do you not know, even if you don't mean it, how do you not know the shame you're going to bring upon you, your family, and the team? Because I don't even care, and I care.
And you were a fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was his biggest supporter.
Yeah.
I was an athletic supporter. I was all about Tom Brady, and I'm not. He disappointed me.
Well, you guys let us know at 800-252-1025. What's a current public figure who is really impressing you or letting you down? Call now.
You know, there are public figures. I was going to say they're all over the way. That's why they're public, ladies and gentlemen. But for me, Shaun White stands out as just such a stellar athlete. And just that he's willing to work that hard that I couldn't be more impressed with him. And then there's Tom Brady, who I rooted for. And now I think all the bad stuff I heard about him that I didn't think was true may be true. And certainly bad sport. But when you're a bad sport at the Super Bowl, the most watched event on American television, I think shame on you, Tom Brady.
So you were mad at Tom Brady for not going over to the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback to congratulate him. Seemed like bad sportsmanship.
Totally. It was bad sportsmanship.
It was, yeah.
It doesn't seem like it. That's the definition of it.
I'm not defending him because I agree with you, but I'm wondering how often that happens, and maybe we don't notice it. If you don't know the quarterback, maybe you don't do that.
No.
I don't know.
I feel like I see it every game.
Every game.
Even
I feel like
not
I do
important.
too.
Non-winner, the winning coach and quarterback go over and congratulate or say sorry to the other one.
Maybe we'll look it up and see, because I really hate to think he's that much of a baby.
He is that much of a baby. You know who else I really liked, but my opinion of him hasn't changed. I only like him in the sense where I like a toy. I don't know anything about this guy. Carolina Panthers quarterback.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. I really like
Baby.
that. And same thing happened. Baby.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not baby. Babies cry and poop on themselves. That's okay. But don't be a good sport when you're the quarterback. You send out a message to kids.
Let's hear from Jeremiah in Seattle. Our question is, what current public figure is really impressing you or letting you down?
1-800-252-1025. Call right now. Hey, what's up, buddy?
All right. Do you remember the incident when all the teams for the national anthem, they basically put them in the locker room instead of just playing them on the field until it was over?
I do remember
All right.
that.
Do you remember the incident with Alejandro Villanova, the lineman there for the Steelers?
Yeah.
Ex-Ranger comes out onto the field.
Yep.
You know, respecting the colors and the flag and that, and the coach Tomlinson chewed his butt out after the fact. But after that, I lost all respect for Tomlinson as a coach. I mean,
All right, cool. Because I was afraid. I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say that Alejandro was disappointing you, and I don't care much about anything else but the game. It's like, shut up, stand up, sit down. I don't care. But I loved that he went out there.
Yep.
The other guys were sitting. I thought that was great. So I'm glad that you're disappointed in the coach and not the player.
And a lot of people are disappointed in that coach, Mike Tomlin, because he had a terrible season, and people say he should be fired. And the last game, he had frozen like snot all over his beard, and nobody told him. It was so gross.
Yeah, he's got a hot temper too. I've seen locker room videos where he kind of just loses his cool quite a few times.
Yeah, I mean, he's not long for the coaching world at
All
this
right.
rate.
But I'm glad that Jeremiah brought up that particular incident because I love that Army Ranger went out there and did that.
Yep.
Thought it was great.
Who is a current public figure who's impressing you or letting you down? That's the question. Answer it at 800-252-1025. How about Connor in Seattle?
Hey guys.
Hey, Connor.
The one that's impressing me is LeVar Ball.
Now, I saw on the, we have a computer here that says who's calling and 3 or 4 words about what you want. I was shocked that you picked LeVar Ball. Why?
So, hear me out.
I will,
You
buddy.
know, he's the guy that said he could beat MJ in one-on-one basketball.
Yep.
This guy, do you know his kid's name?
Lonzo is the one that's playing for the Lakers.
Lucille?
Exactly.
Lucille Ball?
What other rookie? What other rookie would you know, like, is a household name right away?
Yeah.
Like, but just because his dad's such a loudmouth, his dad openly came out like a week and a half ago and said, if Lonzo won't re-sign with the Lakers in 3 years unless all 3 of my kids are drafted by the Lakers.
Right.
Like, they're all playing together. He just says one radical thing after another,
Right.
but it puts his kids in the spotlight
That
and
is
opens
true.
them up to so much, like media attention. I mean, they're just getting, like,
Yeah.
famous. They're like the Kardashians of basketball.
Oh, nicely said, Connor, because I'll tell you this. I don't watch basketball. I don't know. If you're not Wilt Chamberlain, I don't know, and I don't care. But the fact is these guys are on my radar now
Yeah,
because of
he's
his
right.
dad. I think don't thank the president thing a little bit weird, but he made enough of a show of it that he's on the American. So Connor's absolutely right.
It's a really
It's a weird
good
one to
point.
pick, my buddy, but pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's go to Scott in Seattle.
Hi, Scott.
How's it going, you guys?
It's all good, man. What do you got for us?
How about Nikki Haley, the head of the UN, our
that just 'cause
U.S.
she's-
ambassador?
Is that because she's super cute and a member and the head of the UN, or do you actually what she does?
No, actually what she does, even when she was governor of the South Carolina when the shooting happened,
Right.
how she came out with a calm head and, kind of took hold of the situation and was able to, rationally come up with, positive things for both sides.
Yeah, certainly
She
no.
just
All
seems
jokes
like
aside, that lady is somebody to admire. That's a
seems
very
like,
good call.
she has a cool head in situations.
All the time.
Yeah, that she's under a lot of stressful situations and is willing to just kind of keep calm and do her
You know
job.
who keeps calm, but I would never say, "Oh, I'm real proud of that." Like that. Is it Huckabee?
Sarah.
Yeah,
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah, she just looks like she's lying to me.
The job of press secretary is just astonishing to
For
me that
this
anybody can do
particular
it.
president.
Yeah, absolutely.
Helen Collin from Federal Way, who is a current public figure impressing you or letting you down?
Well, letting me down is all the late TV hosts. I mean, they all have their opinions about the president, but God, guys, let it go. Say a few minutes, then just go back to entertaining and being funny.
I think I'm forced. I agree with you in spirit, but I disagree with you in the sense that these guys have to make a living. And if they say, well, you can turn to this channel and bash Trump, or you can turn to this channel and not, the bash Trump channel's going to win. And these guys are there to, just because they're rich and famous doesn't mean they're not trying to pay their bills and put their kids through school.
Yeah, I do get what Helen's saying in a way, though, that you want to be entertained and get away from politics sometimes. So, enough is enough.
I don't think, because, people have done this in the past, tried to be successful in what they don't do. Like, you can come to this show, we don't bash politics, Trump, or even talk about politics. We just do the jokes. You're going to lose a lot of audience under this environment of people who want to bash Trump.
I mean, someone who really impresses me is John Oliver, and sometimes I
love that guy.
Yeah, sometimes I can't watch the show because it's depressing.
I was so mad at this guy at first, and then I found out he was actually a citizen and has every right to bash our government because it's his government too. But yeah, he's an impressive dude. He does something just showbiz wise that you guys might want to watch next time. He doesn't wait for applause breaks. He gets the joke and gets applause and keeps going to get more stuff in. That's amazing.
Joel McHale has a new show that's starting this weekend, and they said it's going to be like John Oliver's and that it's a new one each week, and it's on Netflix. But he can't talk about politics, right?
No, I don't know. Can he? Why not?
That's because he's just a funny guy.
No. I think that's his thing. I think that's
Politics
very secretly
now?
his thing. No, always. And he just hasn't done it. He just thought it wouldn't be popular.
Yeah, because his show on E! Was all making fun of
reality TV. Daytime TV.
In the beginning of this show, we play him saying, "What does Bonaducci think he's gonna do now?"
Travis calling from Woodinville. Who's a public figure impressing you or letting you down these days?
Pearl Jam. Just because what they're doing for the homeless, I think that's huge with how much money is in Seattle with Boeing and Amazon and the Seahawks and on Microsoft. And
Travis, that I'm very glad that sticks. I don't know that I'd have thought of it. I'm really glad. Oh, yeah, that's right. We are proud of a local band giving up $1 million. Just because, again, they're rich and famous. $1 million ain't nothing. Yeah, you got to admire
and
that.
And it's not going to be capped at that. They said that they are going to try to get other people to donate to the issue as well. I mean, they don't have to do that. We are giving you a chance to win tickets to those concerts, by the way. The Pearl Jam show is happening in August all day today here on KZOK.
You know who I'm impressed by, and is not a big star, but I think Paul probably watches him a little bit. I watch him, is Bobby Flay.
Oh, yeah.
The celebrity chef.
Oh,
Dig
great.
this. 8 restaurants, and he hands-on runs them. When you turn on the Food Network, sometimes it's days and days of only Bobby Flay shows.
Yeah.
And sometimes, after 5 hours of Beat Bobby Flay, starts the Bobby Barbecue Bonanza.
Yeah.
And they're different shows. Like, I don't know one other celebrity that could do that while running businesses. So maybe I'm smitten by celebrity chef world, but I got to go with Bobby Flay. It's just great.
You also like him because he's an angry ginger.
Damn right. Plus, I did the pilot for his first show 25 years ago.
Nice.
What about you, Jamie, in historic Kent?
So I'm going to say my dude, Chris Pratt. Others
Oh, come on.
No, he's come out of his divorce really positive, no bashing, and he runs a farm up in the San Juans, ethical treatment of animals. He supports the Seattle Children's Hospital.
He does
I think
that.
He's a great guy.
Because I want to yell shenanigans about living and working a farm.
He does, though.
He does?
He
He
does.
lives in the
Man,
San
I
Juan.
hate this
Oh,
guy.
I hate him even more.
Oh, we love you, Chris Pratt. Paul, who's a public figure impressing or letting you down?
So I think 2 years ago, we all would agree that there's no chance we're ever going to see Guns N' Roses again. They're not going to go on tour again. Axl just can't handle it. Well, not only can he handle it, he can front both Guns N' Roses and it turns out AC/DC as well. That's pretty impressive.
Nice call, man.
Yeah.
Nice call.
Tori, how about you? Who is the person?
The Paul brothers. I think they're everything that's wrong with our youth. They're the vloggers, Logan Paul and Jake Paul.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're all mad about Logan for the suicide forest thing, but his actual little brother got banned from Disney because he had so many complaints in his neighborhood that he got kicked out.
What was he doing?
Just throwing stuff, lighting fires, just being reckless.
Wait, how does that get you kicked out of Disney?
From the Disney Channel.
Oh,
He was
not Disney.
He was on the Disney.
Yes.
Channel.
Oh, okay,
he
okay.
was.
What's up with these guys? They're getting every break.
Too.
What?
I thought Disneyland as well.
Well, that's probably because she said Disneyland. I kind of wanted to root for that guy again. Speaking of these celebrity chefs, he was on my favorite show, Top Chef, and I thought did an okay job. Now, everything I've heard about him since has been a disappointment.
Yeah. And Derek, who is a public figure impressing or letting you down?
I think we're all familiar with Amber Rose, the former stripper turned socialite, baby mama to Wiz Khalifa. So she made news recently, and I'm highly disappointed because she got a breast reduction surgery.
Who does that?
When you have something amazing,
fly or whatever.
when you have something amazing, you don't mess with it, which is why I have never changed a thing on my body.
I will tell you, my friend, I have something amazing, and I can't stop messing with it.
I think it's time to play one final round of Whose Hit Is It?
Whose hit is it?
You can win tickets to Journey and Def Leppard September at the Gorge. If you want to play, call now, 800-252-1025. We are playing one final round of Whose Hit Is It for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard in September at the Gorge. To win, you will have to correctly identify whose hit it is, Journey or Def Leppard, from Danny's Clue. We are going to start with Katrina in Everett.
Hi, Katrina. Get it? I'm waving.
Hi.
You may have to do
Good
this. I got
morning.
something stuck in my throat. Good morning, Katrina. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Well, although I think I got part of a grape stuck in my throat, so if I start to choke to death, Sarah, take
Oh,
over.
no.
Do you
Oh.
do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I do.
Yeah, you do. Do you understand the rules of the game?
I do.
All right,
Yes.
this is an easy one. You're going to be fine. You ready? Here we go. Whose hit from 1983 is a wistful piano ballad about the challenges of being a rock star on the road while trying to maintain a happy marriage? The hit landed at number 12 on the Billboard charts and ironically far outlasted the marriage it was written to commemorate. A cover of the hit was posted to YouTube in 2008 and received so much attention that it led to the cover band singer going from karaoke act to headlining frontman. Can you tell us whose hit is it?
Journey.
I think that's right, isn't it?
That is right.
I think she had like 50-50 chance of guessing the right one.
Well, every day this week you've had a 50-50 chance.
Yeah. She just sounded less certain than some other winners.
Well, either way, you win, Katrina. Good job.
You're going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets to Journey and Def Leppard at the Gorge. Congratulations, Katrina. And don't forget, we've got plenty more fun stuff coming up on the show today, including you can win a pair of tickets to the pre-screening of the movie Annihilation at 7:50.
This traffic report is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino. On Snoqualmie Pass, the eastbound lanes are closed due to some weather conditions. And we're seeing some stop-and-go traffic on I-5 northbound between Albro Place and the Convention Center. About a 15 to 20-minute delay right now. Celebrate Lunar New Year with a chance at over $1 million in cash, a brand new Ford, or a trip for two to Hong Kong and Beijing. The fun starts February 10th and goes through February 18th at Snoqualmie Casino, above it all. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Staples. The rain and cold weather are going to come in today and scattered showers with highs in the 40s. It's currently 41 in downtown Seattle. Past travel is going to be difficult, so a winter weather advisory is in effect until 7 p.m. tonight, and a storm watch goes into effect on Saturday. Staples has low prices on the organizational solutions your business needs to clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year, like baker's boxes and file folders and storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Don't start your day being totally uninformed. Stay with us and get the big news of the day.
It's coming up next. Some of the stories we're talking about. Turns out the Olympics, putting them on is expensive. The numbers are leaking out, and it is not good news. How does America really feel about vegans? The data is in, and we'll tell you. Now, everybody loves tacos, but one restaurant is in trouble for theirs. All next.
It is the big news of the day, and as always, it is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE or go online to goldbergjones.com.
When the Olympics were first announced going to Pyeongchang, they estimated it to cost about $7 billion.
Jeez.
Part of it is building a new stadium.
Right. And that's $600 million. Give you an idea. We're spending $600 million just to revamp Key Arena.
Right. They had to build 6 new venues. They refurbished 6 others. They were building a brand new train to run from Seoul to Pyeongchang.
Right.
Some people don't realize that Pyeongchang is 100 miles from Seoul.
I would be one of those people that didn't realize that because I was trying to figure out the weather there because they were making this big deal. And I was Googling it, and the lady said, it's 38. I'm going, why is everybody whining? And they went, that's 100 miles into the mountain. I knew it was not near there, but I didn't know 100 miles.
Well, they've now started to take a look at how much the Olympics are costing to put on in Pyeongchang. It is not $7 billion. $12.9 billion for South Korea.
They could build a wall to keep Mexicans out for less than that, I think.
They were off by just a little in their calculations.
Yep. They're concerned that it's too early to tell if it's going to pay off, but they're concerned that it's not going to.
It's not going to pay off. It never pays off for anybody.
It never. It's always about. You know what? I made a little joke, but it's just about as bad as an idea as building that wall.
Yeah. 2
terrible ideas. You're gonna build a wall to keep perfectly reasonable people out of the country that get jobs and become doctors and all that cool stuff, or would you like to host the Olympics? They're terrible ideas.
Yeah.
Shaun White's gold medal run at one of those venues in Pyeongchang became the second most watched event in NBC's Winter Games history.
Wow. Well, I watched. I was riveted to it.
There have been so many bad stories in the news this week.
You got a good one?
About schools, yes. And
Yeah,
I do
sure.
have a nice one. Of course, we've had shootings, plotted shootings. Now, there is a scary story out of a school, but with a happy ending. This is a place called Twinsburg, and the track coach named Chuck Glover, who goes by Coach G, now has a student to thank for saving his life. He was working out at the fitness center when he had a massive heart attack and collapsed. Thankfully, there are security cameras in the gym that recorded this whole incident. Somebody called a girl, 17-year-old, who was a lifeguard, and they called and said, Coach G had a heart attack. She ran in, brought the AED, the defibrillator,
Right.
and she said she had trained for it. She'd never used one before. She showed up lickety-split, administered this, saved his life.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, first of all, you couldn't direct it happening better. He's sitting on, I think, a weight bench, if memory serves, and he's a big man. He didn't. His Happy Meals had fries. Is all I'm saying. And he's sitting on a bench. And he grabs. It's not funny. Shut up. You shut up. He grabs his chest and then just kind of rolls onto the floor and stays there flat out.
Doesn't
And
move.
she walks up with the defibrillators. And I don't know if she yells clear or not because it looks to me like she's just about to hit it. And 3 other people are still touching this guy. Now, I'm not positive what happens, but I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
But I guess they got away and she restarted his heart.
They said fewer than 5% of people survive something of this nature, and many come out with brain damage because it takes so long. But she was on site. She got there so quickly. And he, of course, is praising her, calling her his guardian angel, but a student saving his life.
This is kind of a thing because I remember the name of the school shooter. And as of now, I don't remember the name of this girl hero that I heard 5 minutes ago. What was her name?
Her name is Nicole Frascella.
One of my people. Dig her.
Yeah.
So Nicole Frascella. That's great. God bless you.
17. Well, there is a new study out about vegans and dating. Believe it or not, 28% of single Americans say they would not date a vegan.
And, 62% lie. unless you're a vegan,
Yeah.
then I would never, where do you date? What do you do?
Right. You're going to go out to dinner? No.
No.
Yeah.
Never. I would never date a vegan. I'd sleep with a vegan, but under
Oh, yeah.
protest.
Absolutely.
If a hot chick said, well, I'm a vegan, I'd go, no, it's great. No, all my friends are vegans. Let's have sex. But after that, I would say, I can't stay with you.
The most welcoming state for vegan dating is Vermont and New Mexico. But Idaho, the number's huge. almost half of them say they would not date a vegan.
I just don't. I don't think it's a hate crime kind of thing. I just wouldn't know what to do with a vegan. I just wouldn't know where to go. I mean, okay, so I meet a girl and I don't know anything about her, and we go out to sushi, and she says, "Oh, I don't eat sushi." That's a huge mark against her right there. Now, I don't eat anything that was ever alive or has wheat or whatever the parameters to be a vegan is. No, I'm out.
Wait, she could order something at the sushi restaurant, but
Yeah,
you
but I hate her.
probably wonder why she's getting that weird radish.
I love my mother-in-law. I think she's a wonderful person and everything. But I said, "Do you like sushi?" And she said, "Well, I like the cook stuff." Well, the answer is then no. Crazy person. Sushi is raw fish. Although I prefer the California rolls and stuff like that. But you have to be an adventurous eater for me to think you're an interesting person.
And with a vegan, you're going to feel like you're being judged. You're going to feel like, you're going to be offending them by anything you do.
My daughter, I didn't even notice it. And everybody thought we were doing it on purpose to be mean. I don't know if Dominic was or not. My nephew Dominic has taken up hunting, which is so weird.
Oh.
No Bonaducci ever has taken up anything remotely that sounds like going out into the wilderness and getting in a deer stand, putting deer pee on you. Just we don't do that except for recreation. So I was talking
Which you
to
do almost every Friday night.
What the hell? I know Fridays are. So I said to him, have you caught anything? He said, yeah. And he started to talk to me about what he had killed. And I think it's so weird to kill stuff. And I didn't know my daughter was just freaking out because she's a hardcore vegan.
Yeah.
So I won't date her. So I dropped it.
That took a weird turn.
Yeah, almost everything does.
When you go out to Mexican food on a Tuesday, what do you think of?
Tacos.
Taco Tuesday. Yeah.
Taco Tuesday.
I know what that means.
In Calgary, there is a Mexican restaurant who got a cease and desist letter from Taco Time
No.
saying you can't use the phrase Taco Tuesday. We have trademarked this and it's ours.
Okay, legally, I think they're within their bounds. What happens?
I just don't understand how you can trademark Taco Tuesday, which is something everybody has said for forever.
Because they were the first ones to be smart enough to trademark it?
Now, this is Taco Time Canada, and we love Taco Time, so no offense on you.
Oh, yeah,
but
ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you are listening, the white bean chicken chili, 170 calories a cup. So, like, guilt-free chili.
So good, too.
Well, this cantina says they will have to crumble because they can't afford to go up against a giant like Taco Time Canada, and they have...
Wait, Taco Time Canada's not Taco Time?
It's...
There's separate... Even Taco Time Northwest is not the same as Taco Time. There's
So
a separate,
who's telling these guys they can't call it...
Taco Time Canada.
Okay, okay, it's Taco Time Canada that's mad about Taco Tuesday. Got it.
The Canadian Intellectual Property Office is what it is.
The Canadian Intellectual Property is what's saying it. Hey.
They've gone to social media to ask for suggestions on what to call Taco Tuesday, and some people have suggested Trademark Tuesday.
Good.
Talk, like the word talk. Oh, Tuesday? Like
Yeah,
we're having
no.
a talk?
No.
Talk,
I don't like
oh,
it.
Tuesday?
What about give this guy singing $50 and put up his picture and then call it Taco Tuesday?
Yeah.
The day of the week when everyone on the planet eats discounted tacos? That was the
That
suggestion.
one?
Hey, that's the big news of the day, and it's brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men at 1-800-DIVORCE or online at goldbergjones.com.
Hey, there is more, ladies and gentlemen, coming right up. And you should probably call right now, 1-800-252-1025. Because if you know where Sarah's Beaver has been, you're going to win a pair of tickets to the pre-screening of the movie Annihilation.
Call now.
I do. My favorite part. Looking around, all around town. Sarah's Beaver's on Patches the Clown. Oh, Sarah, won't you give me a clue? I'll find your beaver and I'll be calling you. Where's Sarah's Beaver? Where's Sarah's Beaver? I gotta know. Where's Sarah's Beaver? I want to win on Danny's show on KZOK.
We have a fabulous prize
Yeah, we
this
do.
week. A pair of tickets to the pre-screening of the movie Annihilation, which will be a blockbuster smash starring Natalie Portman.
That's the thing.
Fabulous.
Sci-fi.
It looks really, really good.
Yeah, I know it's funny. I read the book and thought this would make a great movie. I bet that never happens. And then boom, they had it happen.
Boom.
Now, each week she goes someplace new and we post those pictures to Facebook.com or KZOK.com or
Right.
Facebook.com/Sarah's Beaver. Let's see if Linda calling from Tacoma knows where the beav has been this week.
Hiya, Linda.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, that's great to hear. Do you know where, in fact, Sarah's Beaver was?
At Pike Place Market.
That is correct,
That is
Linda.
absolutely correct, young lady.
They're tearing down a building, like a historic building down there, and she went to check it out, see if she
Really?
could get some wood.
I go by there one time a month, probably, just to check out what's happening. There's always something new down there now. It's neat.
It's pretty wild. All right, Linda, you are going to the Jeep Winners window to pick up your tickets to that pre-screening of the movie Annihilation. I told you there's a lot of stuff being given away today. Your chance to win Pearl Jam tickets before the show is over, and pancakes. Pancakes. We are going to give you a chance to win a gift certificate to IHOP.
Awesome.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples in Renton on 405 northbound between Highway 515 and 8th Street. Seeing about a 40-minute delay due to some stop-and-go traffic. And we also have quite a bit of stop-and-go traffic on I-5 southbound between the Alderwood Mall Parkway and North Gateway. About a 30-minute delay in that area. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It is 8:04 in the morning. I'd like to tell you this. If you haven't purchased your tickets to Whiskey Rocks, now would be definitely a good time to do it. It's a great event. Sold out last year. 100 of the world's finest whiskeys and bourbons from all around the world. Great live music with Spike and the Impalers and so much more. It's happening March 10th at the Terrace Club in Safeco Field. Last year's event, as I said, sold out. So make sure you get your tickets right now. Go to whiskeyrocksnw.com.
We were talking about a huge crash on a highway in Detroit that spilled human waste all over the roadway.
Yeah, that's a drag.
A poop fest.
You guys both said you would not do that job. That is someone's job. Paul said that
I said the guy who comes and empties my septic tank every couple of years, I would pay him whatever he charged. If he said that cost $300, here's $300. If he says it costs $3,000, here you go. Because there's no way I want to do that.
I have not always lived the American dream. People refer to my time as the 80s. And if, I'm homeless and stuff, and they say, hey, all you got to do for some shelter and some food is clean up that human poop right there, I'd go, I am not that hungry. And I'd crawl back under my bridge and be left alone.
Yeah.
Well, you brought up another very undesirable career path, and that was crime scene cleaner-upper.
I'm not positive I couldn't do that one. It's a lot of brains and guts, but I think maybe I could do it.
It's also number 2.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. If some of the guy were about to shoot me, I'd definitely poop.
But I was thinking a job that you could never do regardless of pay. Your wife would never operate a gondola or a funicular.
No, not a chance in the world. I'm not positive about a funicular because they're on the ground. And they
so
just
it's
go
just
track.
anything up in the air.
You could go all day on this. I don't think she'll be a hot air balloon operator, but yeah, she won't do a thing of where it's become kind of a fight. It's something I have to miss out on my vacation. She says, you go alone. Like we were in Italy, and there's a gondola that goes up the top of the wine mountains or whatever that thing is, and she wouldn't go, but she thinks telling me, no, but you can go, is the same thing as going, and it's not. She should accompany me. They're safer. They wouldn't have it. You can trust Italians.
So it must not just be heights, because she went on the Great Wheel.
Yeah, she had hated it.
Oh, okay.
And then I rocked it. I thought that was funny. Apparently that's not funny. And it's not funny if you're the operator either. I can't believe I'm a grown man and he says I have to stop that. Like I haven't heard that since I was 13.
Well, we all agree that we're not going to be septic tank cleaners or crime scene cleaner upperers. But Danny, is there a job that you would not do regardless of the pay?
Fran Drescher's personal assistant. There's not enough money on the planet.
Good answer.
By the way, we have guests in the studio, and I'll tell you all about them in a second. But right then it's Janine, right? I saw you pretend to applaud. Applauding's good. You may feel free to go like that right in the microphone. Hey, they won an auction, these guys, to come in and visit us. So thank you very much for coming in here. And we really more on these guys later. But now back to Sarah.
Well, we'll ask you guys listening out there, what job would you never do regardless of the pay? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025.
All right, so there is a couple of trucks actually in the news recently, hauling human waste is the nicest way to put it. When they crash, and pardon the expression, dumped that out on the freeway, somebody's got to clean that up. And there's a company that will come and do that, much like they'll clean up Paul's septic tank. Paul and I both agreed there's not a reasonable amount of money in the world that could get us to take that job. I'd have to be so down on my luck before somebody said, yeah, big pile of poop on the highway there. Can you go get that, Bonadici? So it's one of the terrible jobs. What is a job that for no amount of money would you do? 1-800-252-1025.
Let's hear from Randy calling from Newcastle.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, people.
What's up?
Hey, as creepy as it is, I wouldn't want to be a mall Santa.
Yeah, I'm with you. What's your reason, though?
Well, for one, I'm always looking at some of the TV stuff, and crying kids and peeing on me, may not be the real reason, but because I don't know if they pee on you, but that many flocking kids in an 8-hour day.
If you pay extra, I think they'll pee on you.
Focus on
that.
Well,
I would focus on that. I don't want that. I don't want somebody else's kids peeing on me.
And they
I'm
definitely
not big
pee
of
on
a fan of my own kids peeing on me.
Yeah.
But I would not like that. Plus, here's an extra added bonus. In these times, it just seems like somebody could say, I could sue this mall for a lot of money if I say that's a bad Santa. I don't trust anybody, so I don't want your rotten kid on my lap.
Yeah, and kids are all rotten.
Kids are all rotten. The only thing worse than kids are their parents.
What job would you never do regardless of the pay? That's the question we are asking. And let's hear from Alan in Seattle.
Hey, Alan.
Hey, I would never want to be a co-host with Danny Bonaducci show.
Well, you rat bastard.
Alan.
What are you trying to say, Alan?
I mean, you're right, Alan, but come
Are you trying
on.
to say I'm annoying/dangerous? I think you're crazy, and so does he. Shut up.
Well, I'm a rat bastard, and I know it.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate the call.
Richard in Monroe, regardless of the pay, a job you would never do?
Good morning. I could never work in a nursing home or a caregiver or something like that.
Yeah, you're totally right.
God bless people that can do it.
If anybody says to you, you're a bad guy, you're not, man. After my dad had his stroke, and I didn't see him very often because I didn't like him before he had his stroke, but we would kind of fight. We've taken him out to dinner. The kids and I, all the other kids and I would fight about somebody had to be ordained to the drool monitor, and somebody had to wipe his face. And I said, I'll buy breakfast, man. I'm just not wiping the guy's face. Imagine what other people have to wipe. I'm so not doing that.
Yeah.
It's certainly an admirable job.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. Let's go with Michelle and Bonnie Lake, a job that you wouldn't do regardless of the pay.
Hey, Michelle.
Good morning,
What's up?
Seattle.
What's happening, Michelle?
Hey, a underwater sewer pipe diver, repair diver.
That's very specific.
That's very. But it's
In
funny.
Texas.
Do it above water.
It's funny while wearing green. That's funny because there's underwater jobs I would do. Underwater welders, you can just go learn to do that, and you start at $85,000 a year.
How does that work? How is there flame underwater?
It's not, not exactly technically flame, but it's a reasonable. I've never done it, so don't look at me for your answers, man. But I'll tell you, you can go do like an 8-month course or something like that, and you're making 85 G's.
Wow.
But you're underwater.
You're
wearing
underwater.
green.
You're clean. Even if poop gets on you a little bit, it gets right off you.
Phil in Bellevue, what job would you never do? Sorry, this is Dave in Linwood.
What's up, Dave?
Hey, what's going on there, stars of the radio?
How you doing?
Doing good. Well, I'm claustrophobic, so I could never go work in a mine.
Same here.
Yeah, I think I could do it.
Really?
Yeah, I think I could do it. I mean, it's a terrible job no matter what you think. My grandfather, maybe that's why I think I could do it. My grandfather spent his whole life in the mines in Jessup, Pennsylvania, and he worked in a thing called a monkey vein, meaning they never made it big enough to stand up in. You just squat in there and pick it. It makes me think, I have the luxury of standing up. I could do this, but I'm not afraid of any of that stuff. It looks okay to me. I think I could do it. Plus, if you get trapped in there and the whole world falls down on you, hang out 23 days, and then they make a movie about you. I'm down.
We had a crawl space under our house when I was growing up, and whenever there needed to be like a cable wire run or something, for some reason, I was the person. My dad would send me down there, and now I could never go in a tight space like that and work there all day, every day.
Yeah, I always think I'm going to find bodies.
Yeah.
Down
to
in
your
crawl
house,
space.
you probably are.
Yeah, exactly.
Now let's hear from Phil in Bellevue.
Hey, Phil.
Hey. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wouldn't want to be one of those high-rise window cleaners, washers, 50 floors up. No thanks.
Well,
I agree with that.
I tried to get that job. If you remember, I mentioned that.
Yeah.
When I was out on the streets and didn't have a job, I tried getting some jobs, but I still had a famous face, and people were mean to me. I don't know why, but try being a busboy when you're famous. People are weird to you. Hey man, there's a fly in my soup there, Partridge. Oh, it sucked. So I tried to figure out jobs I could get where nobody would see me and talk to me.
Yeah.
And high-rise window washer came high on the list. And then they said, well, you can't be drunk and do that. And I said, oh, okay, well, I'm out.
Then it would be creepy. Danny Partridge is outside of my office.
Yeah, that would
peering
be
in.
awesome. Is that?
I'd like to point out that I'm about 25 at this point. Look, Danny Partridge is old and weird.
Ellen in Tacoma, a job you could never do regardless of the pay?
Oh my gosh, working in a mortuary, preparing people like for their caskets, like putting makeup on them and, getting them dressed.
Yeah, again, I don't know.
You could do that?
Yeah, no problem on that one.
No, you couldn't.
I think I could handle it.
I haven't done it, but you've probably read
Choose
the
your
story
words
about
carefully.
me. No. When I got out of rehab in Philadelphia, in 20 some odd years ago, whatever it was, the girl that I bonded with when we got out, her dad owned a mortuary. So we went to her house afterwards, and when nobody was around, we got high with dead people. So that will tell you that we're just trouble, and rehab doesn't work out necessarily that well. Same day, high with dead people.
And you've played a corpse on TV a couple of times too, right?
This is true.
Yeah,
CSI.
I have. Kurt Russell shot me with a shotgun, that bastard. Back in the days when being dead on TV was easy. You closed your eyes and tried to hold your breath. Now they put white makeup on you and fake eyeballs, nothing but trouble.
Paul, what's a job you wouldn't do regardless of the pay?
The guys who climb the cell phone towers and like radio towers, that's like a total different breed of human than me. Like, not only are you 500 feet up in the air, but you're on a teeny tiny ladder, like a 6-inch ladder, climbing up and down, working on the towers.
I can tell you that if I hadn't quit drinking, I'd have done it by now. There's one right next to my house. Like, that's exactly.
You would just go climb it for fun?
I'd jump over that fence and climb it. I think you'd get in trouble, but I would have done that. But I wouldn't do it now. But yeah, I don't have any problems with heights.
It's not, to me, the heights as much as what's supporting you. Not a lot. There's that tiny little ladder, or sometimes you got spikes in your shoes. Maybe you got a rope around you.
The owners of the tower would be so mad if you have spikes in your shoes. Plus, if I come up and spike is in my shoes, I'm going to be furious about that.
Wrong,
Anything that involves spike, I'm mad about.
What about you, Dawn and Tumwater?
There is a job I would never do, and that would become a judge.
I think that'd be fun.
I think that'd be awesome.
You wear a dress and you pound a
Jaywalking, death.
That white curly wig.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
I mean, you don't have to wear that, but I would.
Why would you not wear the white wig?
Good morning, yo.
Hey, yo.
Good morning.
What's up, darling? Hey.
Morning, you people.
What up?
Well, I don't know how people work in a salon and wax body hair off of other people.
Yep.
Wow. I wonder if you could get used to it, because I found, like, of course you could do it. They lay there and you pull the wax from. When I found out you don't lay there, that you turn over and get up on your knees and you're supposed to wax that, I'm not waxing that. That's crazy.
Tori, what's a job you would never do?
Although I'd probably be pretty good at it, I would never want to be a pest extinguisher.
Oh, yeah.
Extinguisher? Are they all on fire?
An exterminator?
Oh, wait. Sorry, guys.
But you have experience as a pet exterminator.
Yeah.
She will not put your pet out if it's
your
on fire.
pet's on fire, don't call 1-800-TORI.
This traffic report is brought to you by Sherry's Restaurants on 405 northbound between Highway 515 and 8th Street. You are seeing about a 40-minute delay, and over on I-5 southbound between Alderwood Mall Parkway and the Ship Canal Bridge, currently looking at about a 35-minute delay on that commute. Sherry's Springberry Pancakes are here. Choose from blueberry, raspberry, or triple berry toppings with whipped cream and powdered sugar on a stack of fresh, fluffy buttermilk pancakes for just $6.99. Add eggs, breakfast meat, and hash browns for $3 more. Sherry's, simply great food. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It's Friday. I bet you know what that means. You get to sleep late tomorrow. You get to sleep in, and you're looking forward to catching up on your sleep. Well, it's Friday, and what that really should mean is today's a day to get a MyPillow, and then weekends won't be about catching up on sleep because every night you will sleep better. Right now is also a great time to get yourself a MyPillow because they've got the 4-pack special going on. 2 premium MyPillow, 2 Go Anywhere MyPillow. You'll get them for half off if you use my code KZOK. That's right, 50% off this MyPillow special. And you're going to love MyPillow. You're going to sleep better. You're going to wake up feeling refreshed. And on weekends, you're probably just going to open your eyes and say, hey, let's go get a cup of coffee and some breakfast. MyPillow, you will love it. Call them 800-304-4756. Don't forget that promo code KZOK. This is a product that is made in America. They offer a money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Plus, you can throw it in the washing machine. You're going to love MyPillow, MyPillow.com with promo code KZOK. You're going to take advantage of this 4-pack special. Do it now, MyPillow.com.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Staples. The rain and cold weather are going to come in again today. Scattered showers and highs in the upper 40s. It's currently 41 in downtown Seattle. There is also a past travel will be difficult because of the winter weather advisory, which is in effect till 7 p.m. tonight. And then there's going to be a storm watch, which goes into effect on Saturday. Staples has low prices on the organizational solutions your business needs to clear the clutter and focus on the job at hand this year, like banker's boxes, file folders, and storage bins. Less mess equals more success. Visit staples.com for more. Staples, it's pro time. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Well, as Tori just said, we are getting ready to experience some pretty bad weather, and we are just now into a double punch of storms and have had our first impact. There is mountain pass travel closures. The Department of Transportation has closed the eastbound lanes of Snoqualmie Pass. They did that about an hour or two ago. They had so many spinouts and crashes because they are experiencing heavy snow. Westbound remains open, but chains are required. 6 inches has already fallen. And I know
That's what she said. No,
I swear that's
pretty
what
sure
she
those
said.
words never came out of my mouth.
I'm positive.
And we're looking at maybe lowland snow as well this weekend.
Indeed.
Holy
yeah.
cow.
It's going to be really cold. The coldest day will be Monday, but we have a chance of snow throughout the weekend, even in the Seattle area.
Like snow for normal people, like at my house snow, or up in the mountains
Seattle,
snow?
lowlands, yeah, that's
Because I
you.
went home from work last year, and I woke up to come to work, and my car was under. I'm in Queen Anne. Don't snow on my house. It's crazy the weather around here.
A man was arrested early this morning after he barricaded himself inside a home in Linwood. Deputies initially responded to this home on Logan Road just before 6 p.m. last night. They'd gotten reports that the suspect was making threats to his family. Police believed he was intoxicated and armed with either a gun or a knife. Now, witnesses called the authorities. The SWAT team came in, and he eventually exited 7 hours later. So early this morning, he was arrested.
I get kind of sick and tired of people, usually a little older than I am, but I guess I'm getting to be that age, say, how times have changed. When I was a kid, if you arrested everybody that threatened their family, my dad actually stabbed my brother with a fork in a Chinese restaurant. And everybody said, don't do that. Now pay the bill and get out. Nobody went crazy. Man, everybody's out of control.
An American flag at a high school in southwest Utah was found destroyed and replaced with an ISIS flag. The unknown perpetrator had taken down the flag at Hurricane High School and replaced it with what looked like a flag used by ISIS. That's according to authorities.
Where do you get an ISIS flag?
I don't
Not
know.
that I want one. They're not on Amazon. They're not on eBay. I don't
Remember
think.
we were talking about the cool little terrorist hat those guys had? And you just can't even wear it because that's not a wool hat. That is a terrorist hat.
Right.
Who do you call and say, I'd really like your flag? Could you send one to my house?
Well, they're now trying to figure out who the perpetrator was. Was it a student? Was it somebody from outside of that community? Why did they do it? And they will be investigated as soon as they can figure out who it is.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it wasn't ISIS, right? They don't play capture the flag.
You don't know. You don't know. It could totally be not like a full-blown ISIS, but a rookie. Like a guy just warming up.
So Lil ISIS.
Yeah, look what I can do. I'm one of my favorite rappers,
Lil ISIS, yeah.
Police are trying to piece together how a 49-year-old skier whose disappearance sparked a massive search on a snowy New York mountainside ended up 6 days later in California, confused and still in his ski gear.
I swear to God, I know exactly how that happens. One day you're in New York and you got some skis strapped to your feet. The next time you're in LA at the beach, go, what the hell happened? There's usually some wreckage that'll tell you.
This guy, Danny Philippidis, is a Toronto firefighter. He had gone to Whiteface Mountain to do some skiing with colleagues, and then he vanished.
Yeah.
And then 6 days later, he turns up in Sacramento, California. They said 6 days of his life are missing. He was heading back to Lake Placid. He had done some skiing, and next thing he knows, he's in Sacramento.
I got to go 4 words. Shenanigans. I don't believe him for a minute.
No, not at all.
No, that's hard to do. I've had blackouts, so I don't remember what happened. But they don't last 6 days, and you don't board planes. If you ever try to get on a plane as drunk as you have to be for that to happen, they won't let you on.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
I don't know why they'd call you Mr. Bonaducci, but they might. Mr. Bonaducci, I'm sorry, you can't get on the plane. And that could, I'm baloney on this guy's story.
Well, they believe he has a head injury, and that he believes he rode in a big rig-style truck, hitchhiked his way in his ski gear.
Did he wake up speaking a foreign language?
No, but
did he have an
haircut.
accent?
No.
I love when that happens.
But he got a haircut.
All right.
He got a haircut?
He got a haircut.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't trust him at all.
Well, we'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
The chances of emerging from a 300-mile race through Canada's Yukon territory amid temperatures as low as minus 40 unscathed is probably unlikely.
Yeah.
That's a little cold. But there's really bad news for a competitor named Roberto Zanda. He was into the race 6 days into the 9-day race, which is completed on foot, skis, or mountain bike.
Or you can choose?
Yep.
Well, I'm going with the bike.
Can you pick taxi cab?
No, I don't know. So he had been averaging 32 miles a day when he got off course and his feet began to freeze. He then had the effects of hypothermia, which can trigger odd or confused behavior.
Right.
I don't think he got a haircut, but he was found with his feet with severe frostbite and disoriented. They are now going to wait a couple of weeks and see he might lose his limbs.
So weird. So what race is this?
Only one person finished it. It's a 300-mile race throughout the Yukon territory. It's called the Yukon Arctic Ultra Race.
There are two things here that I will never do. One, involve myself in one of those races. And two, go to the Yukon on purpose. Who goes, oh, yeah, that's a fine idea. Let's go to the Yukon.
Man, I'm going to sound totally crazy pants, but I really want to go to the Yukon, but in the summertime.
Yeah, I assume that most of the stuff that's horrible in the wintertime is beautiful in the summer.
Yeah.
Antarctica sucks all the time, but people don't usually fly there. But yeah, I agree that places are beautiful in the summertime, but that just sounds crazy.
Sounds, you don't even want to go for a hike around Rainier, let alone through the Yukon.
I don't want to go for a hike. I don't know. I'll go for a walk every now and again.
You can stop right there.
But hiking does not seem to be a viable mode of transportation.
And a California man was arrested yesterday after walking naked into a restaurant and taking care of Mr. Happy.
Okay, I was going to say I've done that, but I didn't do that.
Who does he tip after?
Just the tip after.
This happened just before 6 a.m. at a Jack in the Box. And the 49
Well, they shouldn't name it that. I mean, if you're just encouraging people at that point, you put it right on the side.
Yeah.
He went up to the cash register and said, "Come on, baby." And what I find a bit odd is they
what
said...
did he say? I missed it. What did he say?
"Come on, baby."
I'd say yes to that.
Yeah.
What I find very disturbing, well, all of this, but when police arrived, they found a glass meth pipe on his person. Did y'all catch the beginning when I said he was naked?
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't catch that. First thing first, you got to wait till that thing cools down.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that with it. That's going to leave a mark.
And Danny knows where he didn't buy that pipe.
That at the duty-free shop.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. Will be here all day.
When I worked at a fast food drive-thru, I may have had once or twice people come up doing something similar to that in the drive-thru.
I think it's a D.A.R.E, right? People do that.
Yeah, these people might have been on drugs, but I assumed I looked really cute in my outfit.
With that paper hat.
Just a little while ago, we were talking about jobs you would not do no matter how good the pay.
Yeah.
Well, there is a job that is open that I think a lot of people will want to do despite the pay. An enormous resort in the Bahamas is looking for a CFO. Now you're probably thinking a chief financial officer.
Yeah. Exactly what I was thinking.
Well, you'd be wrong. Chief Flamingo officer.
Yeah, well, that seems weird. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
Bahamar is a 1,000-acre resort in the Bahamas, and they are looking for someone to tend to a flock of bright pink and orange flamingos.
Oh, they have the orange ones?
They're going to have both of them.
That's really rare. Do you know what color flamingos are?
White.
Gray.
Gray?
They come into this world all gray, and then they eat and do all sorts of other stuff that turns them pink and or orange. But that's real. The orange ones are real. I thought it was a dancer that they wanted, like the flamenco dancer. Have you ever seen those guys? They're great.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps that'll be next on their job site. But right now, you would go live on the resort in the Bahamas, and you would be in charge of flamingos.
Nice.
Now, this is a huge resort, but they will only be accepting applications until the 28th. So get your application in now.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are qualified.
Get your app together.
There was a hideous crime committed at an ugly sweater party. A 24-year-old man snapped off the thumb of a $4.5 million statue at a Philadelphia museum.
Wow.
Why? This has a connection to you, Dooch Man.
It always does.
This is the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia. It was the Terracotta Warriors.
Those things are bitching. That thing's buried for 2,000 years and now it can't even hitchhike successfully. It all seems like trouble to me. Who would do that?
The thumb itself is valued at $5,000, but the statue, $4.5 million. And
For each terracotta warrior.
Yes.
And there's a bazillion of those, so if my math is correct, it's a lot of money.
Who's paying 5 G's? Who's paying 5 G's for the thumb?
Collector.
More than 550,
Yeah.
did you say?
5.
Oh, 5 G's for the thumb? That
Yep.
seems crazy.
Well, what happened was there was a party.
Yep.
And then the party left. The next day, the museum workers went in there and said, hey, Steve, that terracotta warrior named Steve is
That's what his
missing.
name is, yeah, for sure.
Missing his thumb. They were able to figure out it happened during the ugly sweater party, and they spotted the guy wearing a Phillies cap.
No, I'm shocked that it was a Philadelphia guy.
Intentionally snagged the terracotta warrior
Why are you
thumb.
letting drunk Philadelphians anywhere near the terracotta warriors?
An FBI spokesperson called him and said, do you have anything in your possession that you might want to turn over to the FBI? And he said, yes.
What do you think they're calling about? I mean, I live in Philly.
Yeah, I've got Benjamin Franklin's glasses.
Drinking and driving is illegal.
Yeah.
And they are doing what they can to get the laws stricter so that people will stop. Well, one man in Texas, Ralph Alfred Frisenhahn, has now decided he doesn't like being busted for DUI, so he tried to use a weird line of defense.
All
He'd
right.
been busted for DUI, and then he said, this is discrimination against people who drink alcohol.
And drive cars.
Yep.
Well, that you're fine. But does this guy feel personally persecuted?
He's been busted several times, but he said that practiced drunks should be a protected class of alcoholics.
All right, I'm kind of down with this all of a sudden. I don't think I was crazy, but now.
He's had 4 convictions for DWI, and this time around, he said he should be in a protected class of people. It was rejected by the appeals court.
Well, isn't the people that would say, no, that's not true, the fact that people know that you're drunk enough to pull you over, that you're not covering this that well, that the cop can tell from 4 lanes over, that guy's drunk. Let's pull him over.
Yeah.
So you're not good at it. You're not practicing at it. You're just drunk and bugging me now. I just realized halfway through that I was totally irritated.
Yeah, you were on his side, oddly enough, like 40 seconds ago.
I am the Benedict Arnold of drunk driving people yelling.
Customs officers in New York State say they seized over 7 pounds of a hallucinogenic drug disguised as shampoo. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said they were at the Peace Bridge in Buffalo, and they stopped a Canadian citizen named Bumper Fisher, who was attempting...
I wonder how often Bumper gets stopped. What's your name? Bumper. All right, drop your pants, bend over, we're searching you.
Bumper Fisher was attempting to cross the border into New York. They became suspicious of Bumper Fisher because...
Their name's Bumper Fisher.
Right.
Yep. They decided to examine his vehicle. They discovered 3 bottles labeled as shampoo, and they thought, why does he need 3 bottles?
Bumper doesn't look that clean to me.
And they're just labeled with like masking tape and Sharpie. This is shampoo.
Yep.
It is not drugs.
Now, was it still shampoo and you can extract the hallucinogenic from it?
No, the bottles tested positive for N,N-dimethyltryptamine,
Oh, yeah.
better known as DMT,
Oh, okay.
which is a hallucinogen.
Yeah.
And, you know, we keep hearing about all these smugglers trying to hide their stuff in the fake buttocks were the ones that got busted yesterday.
All right, I think you got no game at all if you don't hide it in the real buttocks, though. You gotta go the distance. See, I'm not playing.
It was 10 pounds,
All right,
Danny.
terrible jobs that we don't want no matter what. So a guy smuggles drugs by either swallowing them or inserting them.
Yeah.
Well, what do they usually do? They give you a laxative. Well, you can't let that guy clean everything off. Somebody's got to get that.
Ew.
That guy. I don't want that guy's job.
The guy who has to hold the bucket.
Yeah. Yeah, it squeezes Bumper to make sure it's empty.
I think we killed one of our in-studio guests. A Michigan pizzeria has aimed to break the Guinness World Record for the largest delivery pizza by cooking up a 72-inch pizza pie. Steve
So
Valley.
that's a cross, right? 72 inches across.
Yeah, it's sort of square. When I saw it coming out of the oven, it looked pretty squarish.
Okay.
And they said that you still have to be able to move it, which is the hardest part. You can bake it, but getting it out of the oven and into an area to serve it is the hardest part. But they are now filing documentation for Guinness so that they can have the world's biggest pizza.
You know what I've seen done on these giant pizzas is, and this is so, well, it's not as gross as anything else we've talked about today, but they bake it in sections, then cover it with even more cheese and melt that with a hairdryer. That's not actually a pizza now if you do that, right? I'm against it.
Yeah.
All right.
Showing up to court under the influence is bad.
Yeah.
You know this.
Yes, I do.
Unfortunately.
You've been told this several times.
Unfortunately, unlike an airplane, they would admit me.
Well, you really shouldn't show up to court drunk when you are facing a hearing for driving under the influence and public drunkenness.
Yeah.
But that's what Jennifer Amanda Jones did. She showed up to court totally wasted. Now, they said she has multiple cases involving public drunkenness, and she said, why stop now?
Right. I'm kind of with her in a way.
She's going for the record.
Yeah. And, you mentioned about that drunk guy. I don't remember where it was, but a drunk guy that had several convictions.
Yes.
After like 2 or 3, I start blaming the court system. Why is that guy out?
Right.
You could kill somebody. Like one, oh man, I didn't really know I'd had this much. Please let me go. No, here's your ticket. You're going to jail for 4 days or this fine. Can you tell I practiced the speech? So a couple more times, and I think the judge is your friend. You got to go to rehab. You got to do this. But 5, everybody belongs in jail at this point.
A Ukrainian-born Moscow-raised billionaire named Len Blutvanik has broken a record in New York City. He paid $90 million for an Upper East Side mansion. He bought the home less than a year after buying another piece of property for a similar amount of money. They said that this guy is trying to buy the entire block and make it a humongous mansion. Now, he does already own the New York City's widest townhouse that he paid $31.5 million for, 75 feet wide. And he is not even one of 96 of the Russia's richest, those oligarchs. He only has like a couple $1 billion.
Only a couple billion.
Right. You know what the trick about this is? Because I read this story, and he's the world record for spending the most, but not in New York, on the Upper East Side. There's a $180 million apartment in New York City that they just built. It's crazy, man. I told you, I had a very nice little brownstone, 2,800 square feet. That's a big deal for New York City. Actually, that's a nice house for anywhere. But it was right in Greenwich Village. It was awesome. I sold it for $1.2 million, I think, 15 or 18 years ago. How old's my daughter? Yeah, so 18 years ago. And I went back, there was a for sale sign, so just out of curiosity, I called on it. $9 million. Man, I should have hung on to that.
Yeah.
And by the way, when I got that amount of money, the bank owned like 9/10 of that house. Like the New York magic of real estate did not nearly work out for me.
Police in New Jersey have charged a man with doing something unconventional at his hotel room. He was in Atlantic City at the Tropicana, and he was with a couple of buddies. They decided to set up a meth lab.
Yeah. My mind was whirling to stay a step ahead of this, but I did not have that.
Yeah. Meth lab. They rented the room, and all was above board until they started making meth, and a fire ensued because, believe it or not, making meth is not that easy, and it's a little dangerous.
I've heard that.
The entire hotel had to be evacuated. The floor will likely need to be completely renovated because there's, meth.
I don't think that's the world's greatest idea. Plus, don't you have to, after about 3 days of not letting the maids and stuff in, don't they report you?
Yeah,
don't
these
they say
guys
there's
just
something
checked
weird?
in and just started cooking and weren't very good at it. They were no Bobby Flay.
Nah, nobody's a Bobby Flay but Bobby.
It's Friday.
I know what that means.
It's time for the Friday Fun Facts. Monday.
That was awesome.
Monday is President's Day, so a few fun facts about presidents. George Washington was the only president to be unanimously elected. All state representatives voted for George Washington.
Nice.
John Adams died on the same day as Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, 4th of July.
The 4th of July. James Monroe.
Hey, hang on. His last words were, "At least Jefferson lives," and Jefferson was already dead. What a waste.
James Monroe was the 5th president, but the 3rd to die on the 4th of July.
I didn't know that.
And James Madison was the shortest president at 5'4". He weighed 100 pounds.
Really?
Abraham Lincoln and Lyndon B. Johnson, tallest at 6'4".
Wow, that's amazing.
They weighed more than 100 pounds.
Not a lot. I think Lincoln at one point only weighed 140, and the doctor said you can't be
Skinny
6'4" and weigh 140. You got to eat something.
We are going to take a very short break, but want to remind you guys that it is a free concert Friday.
Free concert Friday.
You've got a chance to win tickets to Pearl Jam, Safeco Field, and your chance to win those tickets is coming up very, very, very soon.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples in Gig Harbor on Highway 16 eastbound at Burnham Drive Northwest. We have an accident blocking all of the eastbound lanes, causing some delays, and seeing some really heavy traffic in Sumner on State Route 167 northbound as you make your way between Highway 410 and Highway 405. About a 50-minute delay right now. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less, from storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ins 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Congratulations to Kurt in Puyallup. He is headed to the Jeep winners window in our lobby because he just won himself a pair of tickets to see Pearl Jam. It's free concert Friday all day. Tickets to Pearl Jam in August at Safeco Field. Congratulations to Kurt, and make sure you are listening for plenty more chances to win all day. So many concerts coming up, including a new announcement from the Smashing Pumpkins, a reunion tour, and they have a Seattle date announced already, Key Arena on August 24th. This is the entire original lineup except for one, so it's really only 3/4 of the original lineup.
I love this band, but you know the expression, if it's too loud, you're too old?
Yeah.
You're too old. The Smashing Pumpkins in my head for 3 days.
And as you heard, the Free Concert Friday is in place right now. Pearl Jam tickets could be yours all day today. The giving does not stop there.
No.
We've got IHOP pancakes.
Well,
We're giving
pancakes,
those away.
pancakes.
You know what else?
What?
We've got our iHeartRadio Music Awards happening Sunday, March 11th from the Forum in Los Angeles. And KZOK wants to send you to the show on us. Keep listening for a new keyword and your cue to text. Why? Well, you could win airfare, deluxe hotel accommodations, plus tickets to the show. We will have chances for you to win all day long.
The show sounds so much fun, but also just how about a free trip to Los Angeles?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, please.
Go see Danny Starr on the Hollywood Walk.
I swear to God, I'll come right. I'll turn this show around.
Well, one concert that had an unhappy ending was Elton John at the Caesars Palace in Las Vegas.
Yeah?
He was performing Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting when somebody threw a chain of beads at him, like a Mardi Gras
right?
beads.
That's what he gets for taking his shirt off.
Popped him in the face.
Yeah.
He did not like that.
Oh.
Did he shut down and be at the bitch's back? Thank you.
He did shut it down for about 35 seconds, and then he decided to start playing again. Realized that somebody didn't really mean to hit him.
Well, remember somebody, and this I'm assuming that Tori's in there, her eyes are going out of her head. Somebody threw a lollipop to David Bowie. And that flipped over and the stick went right in his eye and stayed there.
Yeah.
It didn't come out. Like, what are the odds of that hurting a guy with a lollipop?
There's a picture of it too. Someone caught the exact moment. It's so gross.
It is so
It
gross.
like stabbed him in the eye.
Yeah. Hey, calm down. Go extinguish some pets.
Oh, God.
Game of Thrones might not be back until 2019, but A Song of Ice and Fire is returning with a new book. Unfortunately, it's still not the book we are all waiting for.
Because it's the book from like 2 seasons ago? He's not caught up or worked ahead yet, right?
Spoiler.
This is a different... It's the same universe, but not this continuation of this storyline.
Oh, a spin-off.
Yeah. This is the next book in the Song of Fire and Ice franchise, the first half of Fire and Blood, which is a companion book. It's the stories of the Targaryens. Like, we want to know the story of the current Targaryens. Finish the book.
Lord knows I stab knights. Wonder what happened to Targaryens. But serious biz, though, on that. People live and die by that show and love it.
Yes. Yeah.
What show is it on? HBO?
HBO.
Showtime?
Yep.
As viewers of HBO, couldn't we do a class action suit? Didn't we buy? Don't a lot of people buy because they're going to go see that show, and now that fat bastard doesn't write one for 2 more years? I think that somebody should have a reasonable complaint on that.
HBO actually kind of loses out on it because people will subscribe to HBO for like the 2 months that it's on.
Right.
And then just cancel
Yep,
and wait the year and a half or whatever until
Can
it
you
comes
cancel?
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! When I'm thinking about getting cable, it's like getting off the Columbia Records thing. They'll come to your house and they'll take one of your kids. Man.
Especially the add-on channels. Like if you add a channel, you can take that channel away. And a
no
lot of people
idea.
are doing that now, and it's kind of hurting the cable companies.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has yet another new role. He'll be joining the cast of Kung Fury, the feature-length sequel to the cult short film of the same name. We don't know who he will play in the movie, but he will star along...
Some fat Austrian would be my guess.
He will star alongside the recently cast Michael Fassbender and David Hasselhoff.
Okay.
Wow.
Wouldn't you know immediately if you're doing it and Hasselhoff's in it, it's a gag?
Yes.
Nobody's really hiring for his chops
I mean,
anymore.
it's going to be huge in Germany.
All right, you just stand there and be David Hasselhoff. This will be great.
Kung Fury's story takes place in Miami, 1985. The cop, his Kung Fury, and his Thunder Cops, the police force, are fighting crime in the streets of Miami, but a fellow Thunder Cop dies and a new villain emerges. Adolf Hitler?
Really?
I don't mean to bust anybody's balls, but that's not exactly a new villain. I've heard about the guy.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused by this movie.
Plus, I can't believe that anything involving with even a joke, whatever it is, with got the word Hitler in it, that a real live Austrian would ever do. He must try
good
and
point.
duck
Yeah,
all
right.
Hitler references all day long anyway.
Well, the film has a huge cult following, 40 million views worldwide.
Wow.
Maybe we'll watch it over the weekend. But for now, let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. Did you guys just drop the ball?
Totally.
You want to do it again?
We can do it again.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports!
Nicely
You blew
done.
it.
All right, he's out of the
If she had
family.
$1 for every time she heard that.
I was talking to him.
Oh,
but
okay.
hey.
Well, you never know.
Sports is brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Seattle Mariners first baseman Ryan Healy had surgery to remove a bone spur in his right hand. Go ahead, Paul. You can tell
I'm not going to do it this time.
again.
How long do they think it's going to take to Healy?
Wow. And you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. Don't encourage Paul.
Bone spurs. Ryan Healy, he is a new acquisition, is thought to be the starting first baseman, so let's hope he is a fast Healier.
It's not funny when she says it.
Now, Mariners opening day is March 29th, but we're giving you a chance to take a peek at that brand new turf at Safeco Field before anybody else. Nope, it won't be a baseball game. There will be whiskey. Our third annual Whiskey Rocks event is happening March 10th inside of the Terrace Club. Now, don't forget to get your tickets because last year's sold out. WhiskeyRocksNW.com. You can sample whiskey, bourbons from around the world. Spike and the Impalers are performing. Who knows, Danny, you might even get up on stage and bust one out.
Oh, yeah, because I think the Impalers really want to do a Johnny Cash cover. So everything's going to be great.
You've played with them a couple of times. They love you.
I have, but I would say that what is the song I mostly do with them? It's an AC/DC song.
It's an AC/DC song.
It's a famous
yeah.
AC/DC.
Shook Me All Night Long?
No, I don't think so. But what it is it goes, and it's all quiet for a while, and then the band starts. Well, it's an A chord that I can play with one finger, and that's it. And after I play that, I turn the whole thing down, and I rock out.
Sneaky.
Thank you.
In the Olympics, a 17-year-old American figure skater pulled off a move that no one else has landed cleanly in the 94-year history of the Winter Olympics. In the men's short program, Vincent Zhu landed a quadruple Lutz. Not a double, not a triple, a quadruple.
Yes. A quadruple Lutz.
I was hoping she was going to say not a quadruple.
By the way,
I don't know what word comes next.
And by the way, the double Lutz, we were wondering what the hell is it? Where does it come from? This guy named Lutz was the first guy who realized, oh, you could jump off the ground on skates. So he's just the first guy that jumped in the air,
up,
and
spun
that's
around.
Lutz.
NASCAR will kick off its Derek, where are we with medal counts in the Olympics?
Oh, let's take a look at the medal standings. In first place is the Nordic Norwegians with 19 medals. Behind them are the Germans with 15 medals. In third, you have those natives from the Netherlands with 13. Tied with them is the kooky Canadians with 13 medals. And coming up in fifth place is the admirable Americans with 8 medals.
USA!
I was against you with the fart noises for a minute. Then you won me over. I'm in.
Once we farted on the Germans, then you were in.
Okay.
On to NASCAR. They will kick off the 2018 season with the Daytona 500 this weekend. Peyton Manning, will be the honorary pace car driver.
Neat.
Now, if you don't know who to root for, Derek especially should start rooting for Chase Elliott.
Why?
He will be in the Hooters car, and if he wins, Derek's favorite restaurant is giving away free food.
Nice.
So every time that Chase Elliott wins a NASCAR Cup Race Series, fans will be able to get free boneless wings, and they're going to be giving away fried pickles as well.
There is nothing I want from Hooters girls that involves boneless. I'm sorry. Do you have boneless anything? I don't want that.
In some football news, sadly, the Oakland Raiders have decided to part ways with their longtime legendary kicker, Sebastian Janikowski. Now, that means only one player from the 2000 football draft will still be with the team he was drafted for. Every single player who was drafted in the year 2000 is either retired or with a different team.
Right.
Except for Tom Brady. They said a couple of weird facts about it. The number 1 overall pick was a guy named Courtney Brown. He hasn't played since 2005, and y'all probably haven't even heard of him.
No.
Brian Urlacher, who was the number 9 overall pick, was just elected to the Football Hall of Fame. Also in 2000, a defensive lineman named Adrian Clem is already coaching because his career stopped in 2005. The 69th overall pick, he is now a fire chief right next to where Tom Brady plays at Gillette Stadium.
So if Tom Brady ever catches fire and Torrey refuses to put him out, he can put him out.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Almost all of these players have stopped playing, and Tom Brady is now the last man standing from that draft.
Well, it's obviously a rough game. People get hurt all the time. I happen to think they're vastly overpaid as well as anybody else, but Run into a professional football player 20 years after retirement. These are hunched over, aching people that have Tylenol in their pockets and stronger at all times. So when they're buying that, when they're buying the rest of your life, it turns out to make sense.
Well, and a lot of these players, sadly, they don't hold up as far as being able to play the game at a top level. A lot of these guys are just not that good in the long run. In basketball, the Huskies were defeated by the Utes. Their next game is tomorrow at 5 against Colorado. The Cougars got a win over the Buffaloes. They will play tomorrow against the Utes. And Gonzaga did indeed beat up on Loyola Marymount 76-46. They play Pepperdine tomorrow at 5. And the Seattle U Redhawks were victorious, and they play tomorrow at 1 against New Mexico State. It's Friday.
I know what that means.
We've got new movies in theaters. There's one movie opening up that you probably haven't heard of. It's got a couple of actors in it. It's called Black Panther.
Oh, yeah.
This movie is...
Although, are there any other big stars in that besides Michael B. Jordan?
Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, who's an Academy
Award
winner.
winner.
Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker,
Okay.
Academy Award winner.
there's
A guy, can I say in all
Andy
seriousness,
Serkis.
Forrest Whitaker won an Academy Award with A Drift in Eye.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go, I'm going to be an actor, and your mom not say, you can't be an actor, honey. That's your eyeballs. And he
Maybe work
does
at the
it.
DMV.
Yeah, exactly. There's always work at the post office, baby.
Well, they are anticipating Black Panther will be absolutely record-breaking at the box office. Now, it does follow the lead character who, following the death of his father, returns home to an isolated African nation to succeed the throne, take his place as king, but then his old enemies appear. Well, Derek, what are the reviewers saying about Black Panther?
Rawr, 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 rawr. 97% fresh.
How do you rate a NASCAR movie? What sound do you make?
Vroom,
It's
vroom, vroom,
a
vroom, vroom.
different thing. I apologize.
97%.
97, that's a thing.
In addition
What the hell is
to
happening?
being a blockbuster.
Company. This is what happens
It's
when you
good.
bring company in the room.
I
Everybody
know.
starts flipping
It's
out.
all my fault.
Also opening up in theaters, an animated family movie that stars Eddie Redmayne, Tom Hiddleston, and Maisie Williams, better known as Arya Stark. This is a PG movie called Early Man.
Oh, that looks fun. It's
does,
like
yeah.
claymation.
Oh, right
Kind of,
on.
yeah.
I haven't seen a trailer for this one yet, but the storyline is set at the dawn of time when dinosaurs and woolly mammoths roamed the earth. Early Man tells a story of how one brave caveman unites his tribe against a mighty enemy and saves the day. Pretty sure that was just the plot of Black Panther.
By the way,
Sure.
not to be a stickler for history, but did dinosaurs roam the earth with woolly mammoths? Or weren't they millions of years apart?
I mean, come on. Details.
Semantics.
Okay, sorry, it's a cartoon. I apologize.
Derek, the reviews on Early Man.
Being the man who finishes early isn't always a bad thing. 82% fresh.
God, you're an ass.
Detective Chinatown 2 is opening up, action comedy with Wang Bo-kang, Lou Horan, and a whole bunch of other actors you've probably never heard of.
What's Lou doing? Warren?
Soren.
Michael Pitt also in this movie. This is a follow-up to the Chinese hit Detective Chinatown, a film that is the same actors, detectives, something to do with a New York Chinatown godfather whose sons are missing, and they turn to these cops to find them.
Right.
This is with the help of the International Detective Alliance. Well, Detective Chinatown 2 says what in the reviews?
Chinatown only needs one detective, not two. 29%
Rotten.
Is that in Chinese? That movie? Is that a full-blown Chinese movie?
I don't believe so, because I don't think Michael Pitt, who's best known for Boardwalk Empire, speaks Chinese, but I could be wrong.
Good call. Good call.
Or maybe everybody else does, and he's speaking English.
Man,
and
who
people are
knows?
really
I think
confused.
that's the case. I think that the main
Oh.
characters are speaking Chinese. Yeah.
Thought I was being a dick, and instead I'm totally right.
So it's half in subtitles?
You know, I'm watching the
Yeah.
trailer, and obviously I don't have the sound up, but it's showing like Chinese letters and subtitles. Yeah, I don't know.
Chinese letters and subtitles?
And then English subtitles as well.
Both? I'm so confused. John Hamm, Ellen Burstyn, Catherine Keener, Bruce Dern, and Patton Oswalt are starring in a rated R film called Nostalgia, a mosaic of stories about love and loss. It explores relationships to objects, artifacts, and memories that shape our lives. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Yeah.
Nostalgia, the reviews, Derek.
I'm nostalgic for the time when movies were actually good. 33% rock.
Oh, man.
Lastly, opening up The Party, rated R, starring Patricia Clarkson, Emily Mortimer, Cillian Murphy, and Kristen Scott Thomas. This is something called The Party, an intimate gathering of friends in a London home to celebrate her political ascension while her husband seems preoccupied and champagne is flowing and it might end with gunplay.
Huh.
Yeah.
And is Michael Fassbender in this?
No. What are the reviewers saying about a comedy crime film called The Party?
Oh, there's a party, all right. In my pants, 88% fresh.
Wow. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because he said it.
All right. Those are the movies that are in theaters. If you want to see any of these trailers, especially for Detective Chinatown 2, because that sounds thrilling, they are up right now at KZOK.com. But hey, guys, guess what?
What?
Chicken butt. No, it's time to win pancakes. Pancakes from our friends at IHOP. And remember, they are not just about the pancakes. IHOP has over 10 different big omelets, all served with a side of pancakes.
Pancakes.
So you don't have to choose. Caller 10 right now at 800-252-1025 wins a $25 IHOP gift card.
Very nice.
Thanks to our guests for being here today.
Cool. As a matter of fact,
our guests.
let's start from Janine down. Can we introduce ourselves? Either lean forward, shout, whatever you want to do.
Janine Emily from Chasing Oz.
Chasing Oz, the band, right?
Yes.
Which, by the way, if you want to know where, if you are looking on camera and seeing her cleavage, you're going to go, hey, where are they playing next?
Where can I see more of that?
Where can I see more of that? So go to www.chasingoz.com next.
Yes.
Randy Campbell from Chasing Oz.
Also in the band Chasing Oz, and
Kevin Enlow from Accidental Heroes.
I got to tell you,
Accidental Heroes.
So Kevin
All right.
walks into the room.
Yeah.
And first of all, you are unaware of how white you are until a black guy walks into the business. You go, oh yeah, we are literally white people. And I look at him and I think, okay, he looks just like Darius Rucker. But my daddy told me, you probably shouldn't say that one black guy looks like a different black guy.
Yeah.
It's in bad form. It's about a half hour goes by. He goes, I know what you're thinking. That I look like Darius Rucker. And I go, yeah, that was
I think he looks like his brother Darius Rucker, but that's just me.
And,
I've heard it both ways.
What I'm sure you have, mister. What band are you in?
Accidental Heroes.
Accidental Heroes, so we can all look for you guys. How did you end up here today? Because we're really glad you did. We don't really do that as often, and you were laughing and playing along. We're very happy about that. What brought you here today?
Very good question. Well, first of all,
Thanks.
you're a lot better looking in person.
Damn right.
Danny Bonaducci.
Wait.
I don't know that that's a compliment.
You sound so ugly. I turned my ears. God, makeup. Okay, and then what?
Oh.
Was there an auction or
Kevin
something?
here.
Yes. We did a benefit concert. Chasing Oz volunteered to perform in support of the American Foundation for the Prevention of Suicide.
Nice.
And we won an auction.
Cool.
So you want to talk about it, Kevin?
Yeah, I started.
Shout that way.
No, shout that
Oh.
way.
Thanks.
I have a promotional company called Lou Jack Promotions, and I've been doing a lot of benefits last year. And suicide's been rampant last year.
Yes.
Sure was.
Nationally and locally.
And especially we hear about it more and more with teens.
Yeah.
And I think what most
absolutely.
people are doing about it is reporting it when you're too late.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
guy just committed suicide. Well, shouldn't you report it when that guy was suicidal? Maybe called someone or his parents called someone. So I think that is a great thing. What can we do to be of service in your area?
Actually, Janine's got more information on that because she's got a.
We have an organization called Hope Alive. We're a 501(c), and we'll be putting on a big event this May. We're hoping that you can support us on that, Danny Bonaducci. Okay. We'll talk to you more about it.
I think she tried to call me good looking at some point. So if I could extrapolate the other words that came out of her mouth, sure, I would love to be of help if I can.
Our heart goes out to all of those suffering from depression and other mental illnesses, and we just want to do everything we can to help prevent even one more loss of life. Randy has some personal experience.
Personally, I lost my wife to suicide in 2011.
I couldn't be more sorry. You'd never expect that to come out of somebody's mouth. It's like sitting right next to you in the room. Like you know somebody. That's terrible, man. I'm sorry.
And so when Kevin got a hold of us, it was yes.
Yes,
We're
we're
all
on.
for that. So it's very near and dear to me, obviously.
Is there a website for the organization or chasingoz.com? Is that where we should watch?
chasingoz.com
Yeah.
and also afsp.org. is the American Foundation for the Prevention of Suicide.
Beautiful. Well, again, thank you guys very much.
Thanks for having us.
On the few occasions where we've had guests, I always find it more fun, and you guys were just great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now has to follow that bastard. Steve Slayton is going to come in his room and play some classic rock and roll for you because he's just that kind of guy. We'll get out of his way. Have a great weekend. Bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by Staples. On Highway 16 eastbound at Burnham Drive Northwest, we have an accident that is currently blocking the right lane, causing some pretty heavy delays. And on I-5 northbound in Seattle between Albro Place and the Convention Center, we have some stop-and-go traffic there as well, causing just a small delay. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less, from storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $15 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 2/17/18, excludes TurboTax Basic. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.